sandwich in.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I can do it in like 10 minutes, and like I'm barely setting it on the
Oh, you know what? Everybody's got to eat something,
signal.
man, sooner or later.
Yeah, it'll be pretty quick. It's not like it's labor intensive or something. It requires a lot of focus or anything.
Oh yeah, no, I toasted cheese are one of my favorite meals to cook.
Intensive or something. Requires a lot of focus or anything.
Oh yeah, no, because they're so good and so fucking
And it's
easy,
yeah,
right?
it's
You
so
know,
easy.
it's like they're the amount of effort you have to put in for like a really delicious outcome is virtually zero. You know.
Yeah, very little time, very little effort.
Yeah, whereas like, other things like, if you want to make a really good meal, sometimes you're sitting there cooking for half an hour for, whatever, like, yeah, where you're actively in the kitchen cooking, Like sometimes it's easy,
Yeah.
you roast some meat for like a long time, you just stick it in the oven and then walk away for like 4 hours. But, sometimes you got to put a lot of effort in there, man, and then toasted cheese is pretty
Yeah,
fucking awesome.
definitely not one of those high effort ones. Yeah, I
And
like the
then,
ham and things. Though. Throw a ham between it.
yeah, throw some
That's pretty
ham
good.
in there, throw some other kind of lunch meat or some tuna, and it's even better. Like you got all these options. I add fruit in
I'm
there.
also
Nobody else does apparently, because I'm apparently a weirdo. But
fruit with cheese and a grilled cheese.
yeah, it's totally like that used to be the norm. Like people used to eat fruit and cheese together all the time. But I'm telling you, man, for
Oh
my
yeah.
for my money, American cheese and thin slices of banana. Holy shit, man!
Mm,
It's the best toasted cheese sandwich ever.
yeah. Yeah, I gotta try that. It sounds so fucking odd though.
It sounds weird, but like
Yeah.
like peanut butter and banana is good, right? Like I'm sure you've had that before. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, the banana.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
essentially like a jelly. It's like a jelly in that situation. Except it
Yeah.
doesn't need like sugar or any other preparation. It's just like already made in the fucking fruit.
Indeed.
But yeah, peanut butter and banana, and then I also like doing it with like or not peanut butter, but American cheese and banana is really good. And then like Swiss or like Havarti cheese with like thin slices of pear or apple.
Mm. All
Both of
right.
those are pretty darn good.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Swiss cheese again makes a little more sense
Well, the Swiss
with
goes
something
really
like
good with the apple or the pear versus like it
yeah,
wouldn't really go as good with the banana.
yeah,
The American
yeah. I
just
got you.
weirdly works with banana. Like it doesn't make any sense. It really shouldn't. Like you don't think of that, but
Mm.
ever since I was a little
Yeah, I
kid,
got
I
you.
always wrapped my. Well, I don't always, but it was like a fun snack. I would wrap a piece of American cheese around a banana and eat that.
Yeah, I remember the first time I think was when Arby's came out with one that was like a chicken salad. It's like grapes
Mm.
and grapes and apple to get in there.
I have
And that
toasted.
one I didn't like. They also threw in walnuts, which I do not particularly care for. But yeah, the grapes and the apples with the chicken salad was actually not bad.
I've always
But
had
yeah, that's
walnuts in my
really the first
chicken
time I ever
salad.
tried it. Mm. They're okay.
I
I
didn't
don't
know
know.
those
There's
were like
something
an
about them.
optional part. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
well, apparently they're not. They were in there.
yeah.
So apparently they're not. I would appear to be the weirdo on that one.
I've
Not
always thought
one
of that as a
walnut.
Waldorf salad too. I don't know if I'm right on that one though.
Yeah, I have no idea. You're probably closer to correct than I would be.
Now I'm genuinely curious. What is a Waldorf salad?
Yeah, I prefer like
Yeah. Oh, it's also
the
got
salad.
raisins, fresh
Yeah, I
apples,
prefer
celery,
meat in the
walnuts,
salad.
and grapes dressed in mayonnaise. Oh no, 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 it doesn't have raisins. Never mind. Yeah, so chicken salad and Waldorf salad are like the same thing. It's just the
Just
difference is
different
like there's
ratios, I guess.
chicken in the chicken salad, and Waldorf salad is like the same thing but without the chicken.
Okay.
Oh, and then what you're supposed to do
Interesting.
with the Waldorf salad, right? Like it's no chicken in there; it's just the walnuts and apples, raisins, and mayonnaise and stuff and all that. Is you put it in like a lettuce leaf and eat it like a little wrap kind of thing, or like a cup of lettuce to hold it. So it's not like
Pretty
so you eat it with your hands, sort of.
sweet.
Oh, there's an
Gotcha.
Olivier salad. All right, okay. What's an Olivier salad? It's a traditional Russian salad.
With a very French sounding name.
Yeah, Olivier. Yeah. Let's see. It's popular in the post-Soviet states. It's diced boiled potatoes, carrots, dill pickles, cucumber, and also you throw in some hard-boiled eggs. Oh, it's just a potato salad. Oh, but they add peas and like a fucking celery root. Yeah, celery root, onions, and apples. Okay. And then they also add boiled chicken and cured sausage, ham, or hot dogs.
God damn. That's a lot of shit.
That's just, it's just kind of like I had a bunch of shit in the kitchen and was like, fuck, if I put this all together and add mayonnaise, it probably won't suck. You know?
Right.
Literally
Yeah,
what
it
it
does kind of
sounds
sound
like.
like that.
I bet
You
you
gotta
it's
follow
good
this shit
though.
that's about to go back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
tasty.
that's definitely.
It's kind of hard
Yeah.
to go wrong with
That's
all
weird.
that stuff together in mayonnaise. I kind of know if it works. You
Yeah,
learn
that's not
something
bad.
new.
Yeah. Start off with the culinary. Usually get the
Oh,
food eventually.
did you see? Fucking okay. I don't know if you watched the video last time I posted. It was like 2 minutes or whatever. Johnny Somali has posted a video where he stated he was going to travel down to a harbor city, get on a
Mhm.
boat, like charter a sailboat, and make his
Yeah.
way to international waters, try to sail out to international
Yeah.
waters to get away from fucking South Korea. Now, I don't
Try to make
know
them
if
break the
he's
international waters.
serious or not,
Mhm.
but that was fucking retarded.
Right.
Like, on
Yeah,
the.
no, it's definitely getting. If he's serious, if he's as crazy as he feels,
Well, like,
seems like a bit of both. Column A, column B.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter either way. It's just dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. Yeah, the idea is pretty dumb. Announcing it before actually, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, oh, okay, maybe there's an outside chance it could have worked if you hadn't, mentioned it online before you tried it.
Yeah, if you're actually going to try to escape from fucking North Korea, assuming that you won't be returned by whoever finds you is not a great plan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Unless somebody into meeting you out there, fuck, you're gonna just keep paddling in international waters. Do you get to, I don't know,
I don't know,
well, not
yeah.
Japan. Yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah,
be Japan.
you're going to have to go to another country nearby, and like Japan is going to return you. The Philippines will
Right.
return you. Malaysia will return you. Like all these other countries are going to send you right back.
Shit. I wonder if we can get enough super chats together to paddle. And I could, because he ain't making that. Turns out we're gonna drop all the charges because he's like dead
Oh
in the
yeah,
ocean.
yeah, yeah. They'll just let him go. Like, oh no, dude.
Oh,
When
you're
you
gonna go
try
for
that, we
Australia?
just we
Okay.
just give up. Yeah, that's our give up. You get out of jail free. It's like a weird loophole in the law.
Right. Okay, we're
It's
gonna start
fucking
chasing you 6 days after you leave.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, I think it's funny
make
that he
sure you're
thinks
dead when
they're
we
not
find you.
gonna be like watching the fucking harbor and like passing out like pictures with like calling up and being like sending out a text to everybody that like rents out boats to say like, hey, this guy's not allowed to rent boats.
Yeah, do they even have to put out? I mean, he's not exactly gonna blend in.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be different if he was actually, or you know what I mean, instead of a black dude in South Korea. So yeah,
Yeah,
wouldn't
he
even
did
need to
go to
put
the
pictures
place
out
where they're
necessarily.
super fucking like one of the other countries where they're super racist against black people. Actually,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah,
countries that are super racist against black people, like Korea, Japan, China.
yeah.
Way more
Mexico.
racist than we are. Like, at least
I
we
don't know if
acknowledge that the
Mexico is.
racism is wrong. Whereas all those other countries, they're like, no, no, that's normal. We're supposed to be
Yeah,
racist. They're
yeah, no,
bad.
yeah, they're universally awful. So feel free to hate them. That group.
Yeah, they're just like they have no qualms about being racist. They're like, no, that's not a bad thing. What do you mean?
Mhm. All right. To be clear to anyone listening, I don't know if the if Mexico itself is racist against black people. The Mexicans in my area seem to be very quietly too. Like they're not out front with it at all. But they're definitely not fans of the people.
Most, I'm being honest with you, most Mexicans I've met are pretty racist in general against like everybody.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they're like the Asians like that. Now that I think about it.
Every South American I've ever met thinks they're the most superior race on the planet. Like
So
Brazilian,
they're all
Venezuelan, Uruguayan, and any fucking South American country.
yeah.
Everyone I've ever
Meanwhile, the
met from
rest
any South American country thinks they are the fucking superior race. It's fucking crazy.
of
Let's
they're like,
let
hey, we're
us
pretty
not
good at
forget there
soccer.
are only like 4 races.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. They're like, look, we're pretty good at soccer, and that's the only thing that matters. So we're gonna feel superior because we're good at soccer.
Yeah, there's only 4 races.
Hmm. And they're kind of half and half between white and well, Asian, really, right? I guess of India, of American Indians
Yeah, yeah, it's Caucasian,
of Asian
Mongoloid,
descent.
Negroid, and Australoid. Those are
Hmm.
the only 4 races of human.
Yeah,
Of course, now they're trying to say like there are no races. There's only one race. It's the human race, and it's like that's just not true.
yeah, yeah. It's a very nice platitude that means nothing. Mhm. And yeah, I
The
guess
only
that
reason
is
you have
true.
to pretend that there are no races is if you're incredibly racist. And you think
Yep.
that one of them is superior and some of them are inferior, and that you have to like protect those inferior ones from being talked down to because they won't be able to handle it. Because unlike all the other races, they can't handle it apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it all makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
You know, personally, for me, I don't see color.
I, I legit
Look,
man,
I
I
love
just
that.
treat people like however they fucking treat everybody else. Like if somebody's an asshole, then I treat
Yeah.
them like an asshole. If they're a cool person, I treat them like a cool person.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. Well,
many
again, that's
people I've
actually
met in VR chat. I didn't know they were a specific race until like just random fucking somebody mentioned it, and I was like, oh, that person's like an Asian dude. Oh, okay, cool. Like didn't know because I'm not sitting there trying to like figure it out like it's some sort of important aspect of like getting to know people.
yeah.
Although I'm gonna
Now,
be
for
real
me, I have
honest
to.
here, you can tell when you're talking to a black person.
All right. Yeah. Somehow, no matter where they're from, they sound like they're from Atlanta.
It's so true. There's always that thuggish like sound or like the weird African English what do you call it accent that you get when you learn English from an African language.
All right.
Like they're both just so distinct as far as like the speech patterns and like the kind of words they use.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's any other group of people that has that. Yeah, because again, any a vast majority of black people really do like it, no matter where they're from.
Yeah. Probably, I bet you anybody that speaks that language that's clicking. Like, I bet you
Oh
that's a
yeah,
really strong accent that's hard to get rid of when you pick up other languages, you know?
yeah, because it's kind of so different from all the other ones from any kind of like Indo-European.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
know
yeah,
what I
I
wonder?
was,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. No, I was just gonna kind of follow up on that. Why do they plan?
I don't
Again,
know.
there's a lot of it here. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's odd, right?
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
I'm
Maybe
trying to think if there's
Atlanta
any
is
other.
just like a hub, and everybody that sound like they just have a lot of different people, so they all kind of blend into it.
Yeah. Well, it's a southern kind of accent. I'd say Atlanta, southern. So yeah, it's odd that people that live in areas that do not speak with any kind of accent
Yeah, it's
just
weird.
decide to fucking talk like that. Yeah. 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 Like I said, if there's any other people that applies to.
Oh man, you know the Sentinelese people, like this island of like untouched
Oh
fucking
yeah, yeah,
tribe or whatever. What do
yeah. They're
those
not
people
allowed to
fucking
fucking
think
kill
about
you.
the world, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like they know they're not the
Yeah.
only ones. They're living in
Mm-hmm.
fucking huts. They have to have seen fucking boats going by and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking
And like
helicopters buzz
planes and
that place.
helicopters.
Fucking
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Yeah. It would be. Unfortunately, they're not the talking, friendly. From what I understand.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's
If you're
ridiculous
fortunate.
that they're allowed to go on that way because honestly, every lost tribe that I've heard about does awful things like weird sexual perverse shit to like
Mm-hmm.
children and like fucking cannibalism and just weird murdery shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Like everybody, man or woman, has to suck the
Like
dick at some point.
yeah, like they act like it's some sort of like fucking great thing, but it's like no, the cultures that we learn about are fucking awful and they're not valuable in any way. Like
Yeah,
they're
the
vastly
type of
inferior
cultures that
to
is
modern
all
culture.
past.
Why are we allowing them
Yeah.
to exist? They're disgusting. Like
Yeah, get like 20 guys in like modern armor
save the
to take
fucking
out
kids
all of
before they have to suck the fucking chief's dick and fucking throw the chief in a fucking pit of spikes and then teach the rest of them how to
them.
fucking read and like how society works.
Yeah, because again, obviously that's been going for quite some time, so it's got to be insanely inbred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might just want to put them out of the misery. Putting them down might be the humane thing to do.
Well, it also goes to show you just how bullshit all the nonsense about how like native this or that from whatever nation or just, they were such beautiful like kind and loving and perfectly peaceful people. It's like no, they're all
Oh yeah, the
fucking
noble
savages.
Yeah, noble savage. I know, not really.
Yeah, not
Most
noble
of
at
them are assholes.
all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there were some fairly tribes that got along. That was not the norm. And even those tribes couldn't really afford to stay peaceful all the time. Because they get
Well, and
attacked and have their shit.
they might be peaceful with like their neighboring tribes, but then those two tribes would gang up and beat the hell out of the other tribes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exceedingly rare that any of them always kept to themselves and never attacked anybody around them.
Yeah, I think the only really truly peaceful tribes are the tribes that come from areas where like food is just so incredibly abundant and easy to get that you'd have to be retarded to die of starvation.
Yeah, yeah. It's what I find interesting about, like, there's literally a river that separates the bonobos from like the regular chimpanzees.
Mm-hmm.
And again, one side there's plenty of fucking food, water, shelter, all that shit, and on the other side there's not so much. And the one side where there's plenty of food, it's pretty much a peaceful, peace loved culture. Where they're like, oh, you got a disagreement? All right, let's fuck it out. That is our solution to every fucking problem. Is we're going to have sex and problem solved somehow. But it works. They're peaceful.
I think we should adopt the bonobos' ways.
Yeah. You definitely do worse.
And just everybody fucking everybody except for, no grown-ups fucking kids. Let's leave that part out. I don't know if the bonobo do that or not, but we can just say no to that part and everything else would be fine.
Right. Yeah, I haven't gotten that in depth to it. I think they wait till they're at least sexual maturity before that shit starts happening.
That sounds about right. At least we set our normal age limits on that. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that's great. Like people are like some guys squaring off to fight. Just the nearest couple chicks go in and blow them or something.
Mm-hmm.
Put a stop.
Like, oh wow, suddenly I feel way less aggressive. What the fuck happened? God damn.
That'd be fucking. Can you imagine trying to sell that like on a national level in any country? Just be like, hey guys, I get this really great idea. And all the women in the country would be like, yeah, right, we fucking know what you're talking about.
You.
Get the fuck out of here.
The bonobos is such a peaceful culture. We should do that.
I fucking met a girl oh god. When I went up and visited my friend at Humboldt University, I must have been like, what, 20, 23, 24, maybe 25 at most, I think, somewhere in that range. And one of the girls that he was roommates with was in college, and she was all about, like, the bonobos and shit, and how that made so much sense. And I was just like, horny little bitch you live with, dude. Like, goddamn. She's super into these bonobo chimps, and it's like...
Dude, that would be a... Dude, yeah, if I was living there, I would start my fucking male fucking roommates all the time in front of her. What do you think we should do here? Hey, bonobo lover, do you have any solution to this problem between me and this guy?
Should we do the Eiffel Tower again? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, dude.
That was so fucking
funny.
It's
my turn to get blown, and you get the pussy this time, right?
Yeah. Oh god, that shit would be hilarious. Just to mess with her. You don't even have to actually be really serious. Just to fucking piss her off.
Yeah, just to fucking put in an awkward spot. Well, I mean, you said you love the bonobos. I mean, look, if there are other girls around, but there's not, so, I mean, let's do this.
That'd be fucking funny. That shit would be hilarious. Somewhere there's probably an anime about that. Well, I'm sure it's more of a hentai than an anime, but,
Right.
I'm sure some Japanese dude somewhere has been like, what is society? We're like bonobos. Made a fucking cartoon with a bunch of cartoons fucking in it. Like that. I like anime,
Dude,
but there's dark sides to it.
Can you imagine? Dude, but now that you bring it up, dude, fucking, it would be hilarious to have like a sketch or a movie or whatever the fuck, literally doing things like the bonobos do, where you're literally in an argument.
You can make like, a porn like just that, it would sell through the fucking roof, dude.
Dude,
you just made a porn like that, where like you just like, what if society was better, and you just showed like vignettes of like sex solving all sorts of ridiculous problems.
Okay.
Like this, you start off with like this one guy like, I'm gonna fucking kick you out of this building. I could get the rent in I just need an extra 10 days, man, and I'll be square on the rent. Nah, we can't wait. You're past the due date. And then some chick comes in and blows everybody, and they're all like, I guess 10 days is no big deal. Like fucking.
Right.
Oh, you can do, people getting into fights, people like getting mad about sports or like having a conflict at work, and then.
Yeah. All decisions can only be made after sex or within 5 minutes of having had sex. No decisions cannot be made outside of that period. The
Do you
post-nut
really,
clarity window.
do you really want to mind fuck everybody that watches it? Make the girls dress up like sexy monkeys? Oh wait, is there a sexy monkey costume? I bet you there is.
Mm, yeah, if you can imagine it, it's already. That's the. Forget the.
Oh, that's not very sexy. Hold on. There's gonna be better.
We can do better than that. God damn it.
Yeah, there are sexy monkey costumes. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, no matter what weird kink you might come up with in your head, somebody's already thought of it, and there's already porn dedicated to it.
Most of them are just like a shapeless, like, mini dress with a hood. Like a monkey hood and a little monkey tail on the back. Like, they're not even, like, very tight. But yeah, you could do these, use these. That would be amazing. You have the women dressed up in these costumes. That'd be fucking. That'd be beautiful.
Oh, fuck.
Why did I not get a
Might
job writing porn? Like, I should write porn.
Right. It would be all car washes, and monkey sex, dude. It'd be brilliant.
Oh, it'd be all sorts of fucking crazy shit. I mean, there was the Among Us thing is like a big deal. They always have those Among Us characters with the big butts.
Oh, yeah.
And then fucking, there's parodies like, I mean, come on, we got Minecraft is big, the Dungeons and Dragons, there's a lot of big
Dude.
nerd properties that need parodies and stuff.
All right. Okay, what if you take your hobo car wash, swap out the hobos for bonobos? It still sounds
Bonobo
similar.
car wash?
Bonobo car wash.
Oh my god, that'd be fucking amazing. It's just women in monkey costumes washing cars and banging dudes.
Yeah. Guys trying to figure out, coming up with shit to argue about.
Oh man, me and my friend went to one of those car washes, right? Like I've gone to a couple of those car washes where it's like girls in swimsuits or whatever. Like one of them we went to and they acted like we were disgusting for showing up, and it's like, you're all a bunch of hot chicks in bikinis, man. Like, of course we showed up. Like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen when you started advertising hot chicks in bikinis washing cars? And then we've gone to like regular school car washes just because, like, oh sure, we'll give like $20 to some kids to wash the car for like not have to wash it myself later, and then like I'm giving money to a school. But yeah, it's funny. They actually have. I'm actually seeing those bikini car washes. I saw one of those where it was high school girls. That was a little weird.
Oh Jesus, dude. Yeah,
it was very strange. And then one of the girls had those like really fucking telescoping nips or whatever. They like stick out like a half an inch.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was like really hard not to stare at. It was like, this is fucking weird. I think we were like 20 years old at the time. We were at that one. We did not know they were high school until we pulled over, and then it was like, well, we can't just leave.
Right. And they're like, fuck. All right, let's get in here and get out as soon as we can. This is fucking weird.
That was a weird one. We had to get out of the car and go sit down and watch them from over like a little ways off.
Yeah, actually, at 20, it probably wouldn't have been as weird as it would be at your age now, right?
Yeah. No, at my age now, that would be really creepy for sure, dude. I'm not driving my car into any car washes other than like fucking unless it's absolutely free. I don't give a shit anymore. I cared a lot more in my 20s. Like, oh, my car's got to be nice and shiny. Now I'm like, it'll rain and it'll fucking wash the dust off soon enough.
Right.
Like, it's not gonna hurt my car in any way mechanically. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude, I wash my fucking Camaro almost daily. Jesus Christ, that's fucking obnoxious about that shit.
Oh God, no. Yeah, absolutely not. Not anymore. I did that. I had a Saab Turbo. So it wasn't like the sportiest car, but it was a little sporty, and yeah, I made sure to keep that thing like washed pretty regularly, so it would shine in a very dull 80s fucking car fashion in like 1996, 97.
Right.
It was like an 84, and it was like, I owned that one when I was like in 98, I think, actually. Was when I bought it.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Even when I had the Infinities, I had a G20 in my early 20s, and then the I-35 later on, about 10 years back or so. Yeah, even those are really nice looking cars. But even those, I didn't really wash all that often. Yeah, and it's
Uh,
tough out here because there's dust everywhere.
oh,
So
yeah,
again, it's
that's a good
impossible.
point. In the winter, I wouldn't really bother so much here because, like, like rain and stuff, it was kind of pointless. But in the summer, I would wash it like every other week or so, like every week, every other week, depending.
Mm.
Just keep it
Yeah, and
like.
even then, it was mostly just what do you call it? Mostly just rinsing it off. Like with the Camaro, I would literally do like the fucking you got the pre-soak, you got the spraying the soap shit on, and then you get the fucking big ass scrubbing brush thing. Like I would go all out that much, like almost daily, like at least 5 times a week. I would be doing all of that,
Good lord.
which is just fucking nuts, dude.
I was
Yeah,
thinking like
you
with
know what I
my
mean?
car,
Like,
I would water, I'd get it wet, I'd get it out like a big fucking like sponge thing and fucking rub it down with some like car soap and then rinse it and be done. But I was only doing that like once
mm,
a week, once every other week, depending on how dirty it was getting. Damn, I was not committed like you were, dude.
yeah, no, I was very vain about my stupid little yellow Camaro.
I mean, was it getting you pussy though? Because like I can understand.
Not really.
Oh, see, then never mind. I was gonna say,
At
like, if
least,
it was getting
no,
you laid, then it's like, well, I mean, it's worth
yeah,
putting the effort into. Keep it nice.
yeah. Well, yeah, I wasn't really trying to get. I was in a weird phase there. Like I don't know, I'm 14 or 15. I'm like, I'm just gonna stop bothering trying to get laid. Yeah, so it was kind of an odd.
Well, like in high school, at a certain point, you kind of get to the point where it's like you just don't know what to do. You know what I mean? And it's like you can keep
Mm,
obsessing or you can relax. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
so you kind of have
yeah.
to
It's kind
like
of
get
what
to
I
the point where
did.
you
I'm like,
relax because you're more likely to get laid that way anyway. So I mean, come on.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that was kind of what my mindset was basically. It was like I'm probably going to have sex at some point in my life. I'm going to relax and just you know not worry about when it's going to happen.
Exactly. Exactly. You're much happier. At least I was much happier in high school when I started like calming down about that shit.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh man, did you see the latest thing with fucking Ethan that came out? With the drama over with Ethan and iDubbbz and all that shit and Hassan the terrorist supporter.
Yeah, yeah. The skull or skeletons, right? Like they're full
I don't know
skeletons,
if it was
right?
full skeletons or skulls. I think
I
it
heard both.
yeah, that's what I'm
It
saying. I've
seemed
heard
like they kept
both.
saying both.
Um, but
Mm,
either way, it's fucking insane.
fucking insane,
I
dude. That
gotta
is
wonder
so
though
fucking
at the intelligence of the person that
disturbing.
sent that. Like, Ethan is in the process of suing the shit out of a bunch of redditors, dude. Like, you don't think he's
Right?
gonna come after you for this, and you don't think this is gonna potentially end up with criminal charges? It's hard to
Mm,
see this as anything other than a credible threat.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Because they
Like, this
sent two of
is
them, so I assume that was supposed to represent
him
Ethan
and
and
his
his wife.
wife, yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
and you can't. Good luck convincing a jury that that's not a like legitimate threat. That you really
Mm,
mean you really didn't mean you're gonna fucking kill him. You know what I mean? Like, great fucking
yeah.
choice.
Mm, yeah, it's insane. Although I do have to give them grudging amount of respect for finding a way to do that for a prank in general. And this is what they did was fucked up, but it didn't cost them anything. Like, they found a way to do it without costing them a fucking penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently they take purchase orders and shit, which is, again, anytime, they're selling, I guess, mostly to like museums and like fucking, schools and shit.
Yeah.
So, and schools all use those purchase orders things, which I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but I worked selling educational books for like a week, so I know a tiny bit about it. But yeah, that's how everything gets paid for. Basically, they order it, ships, and then they get the purchase order, and the government sends them the money later or whatever. So yeah, they managed to do that without costing themselves a dime. Again, totally fucked up, but a begrudging amount of respect for finding a troll of that level and not costing themselves anything to do it.
Yeah, that is actually kind of impressive in a weird, sad way.
Yeah, yeah. Again, the prank. Obviously, it's not a prank, but I'm just saying, what they did was definitely fucked up.
I'd
But
love to
I'm actually
see. I'd love to
impressed.
see how this ends up coming out, like on the other end. You know what I mean?
Mm, yeah, I think Diorio kind of alluded to it on that Skull one, where he's like, "Oh my god, the group chat logs have to leak at some point, and we
Oh
have
yeah.
to fucking find out,
Well,
exactly how
sooner
much
or
these
later they're
fucking
gonna figure out where that came from. Somebody
yeah,
is gonna cop to it. The place that sold it is gonna be like, or sold it or whatever. The place they got it from is gonna be like, oh yeah, that was us. Here's the fucking.
yeah,
I bet you there's a serial number associated with it or something. Like whoever it
right,
is
yeah,
probably gonna end up facing, if not criminal charges, they may or may not get criminal charges. But
yeah,
but a harassment case, like that's a pretty easy case for harassment to say like, hey,
yeah.
my
Because I think
kids found a
Ethan,
fucking skull because these people
I
mailed it as
think,
a threat to my house. Oh yeah,
well, I
you're
don't
gonna
think
get a
they
lot of
nailed it.
fucking money out of that
Yeah.
people. That's they're
I
fucked.
assume they never. I don't think they ever took possession of it. I think they just had it sent straight to Ethan's house from the company. I don't think they ever had it.
But I wonder if you wouldn't
um,
you have to give them your name or something? Like I wonder that.
apparently not. Apparently that company was pretty fucking lax on whatever their fucking verification
Wow.
purposes were. Yeah,
I bet
yeah.
you if you
Because again,
squeeze that company with some legal stuff, I bet you they start coughing up more details than they're giving up now.
yeah. Although it was probably somebody that it was probably again like most things now, it was probably just done all online, so it's going to be tough to track. Although they said, I think Ethan said the FBI was involved with that.
Oh, I bet.
So yeah, I would be surprised if they don't dig into that to some degree to try to figure out who the fuck did that.
Oh well, even if it was
Because that's
anonymously over the internet, it's still going to log your IP address and everything. You know what I mean? Like they're still going to have
yeah,
logs
and
for the
again,
emails, the other things. They're going to find out who accesses those emails from what IP. Like there's all sorts of ways that you could track somebody down that way. I don't think whoever it is going to stay anonymous for long. I think they're going to be in a
yeah,
lot of
unless
fucking trouble.
yeah, unless they might know to use like a VPN or something. I would think. Although you never know, they're not. They're obviously pretty resourceful in again finding a way to do it without costing themselves anything.
Here's the thing
But they
though, like
might also
VPNs
be
are
dumb
only
enough.
as good as your ability to make sure that they're on all the time.
Oh right, right.
So like for instance, you use this VPN, you have this email, and this email is what you use to get this thing done. All right, that's cool. Just make sure that every single time you log into that email, it's never through anything that's not on a VPN. It's like
Yeah,
one time you
yeah.
accidentally do it from your phone or your computer with the VPN is turned off by accident or is updating or
Yeah,
something
one
and
time
didn't
is all
work
right.
or yeah, like whatever the reason is. Or you turned it off because you
Yeah,
wanted to play some video game that it conflicted with, and then you access that
mm,
email, and then they're like, "Oh, this IP from your fucking house came and
yep.
accessed it." We know all the VPN IPs because they're, the same IP for a lot of different fucking. We see it a lot because it's VPNs. But now
Right,
we know
right.
you actually are the one that owns this because your IP actually did it. So and good luck trying to prove that's not you.
Yeah. Yeah, it only takes one slip up. That's true. Yeah. The internet is forever.
Yeah. Well, it's like, they're
So I
just,
would think that.
it's not worth fucking threatening and harassing people like that. Is that it all comes down to, man.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's
it's just
very
dumb.
bizarre that they thought that was like an appropriate thing to do. Like I don't know if they thought it was funny or if they are really actually just hateful and mean spirited. It seems like that's the case. Like they really are
Yeah.
that hateful,
Well, whatever they are, they're fucked.
which
I
is
think honestly,
scary.
sooner or later, that's going to come back on somebody. I think.
Mhm. Yeah, I would think Ethan, especially nowadays, is going to be following up on that and you know staying on the FBI to follow up and find out who the fuck did that because
Yeah,
that is
I
pretty
think that's
fucking
gonna. I think
terrifying.
that's gonna go very poorly for some people, for sure.
Yeah,
It's not. It's not gonna
yeah.
end well for whoever the fuck did that.
Just want
Also,
to make
I,
sure
I
it's
bet
clear
you, I
that
bet you, long before any of this crazy investigative shit comes out, some retard goes out on the internet and is like, "I fucking did it. It was me." You know what I mean? Like they're gonna want
yeah,
fucking
like
like credit for it. They're gonna be like, "It was totally me, man. I did that shit. Wasn't that cool? I want everybody to tell me how cool I am now."
yeah. Well, Bad Empanada thought it was a good idea to claim credit for the CPS call. So I don't know if he actually did do it, but if he did, he's a
Hey, you
fucking
can go to
idiot.
jail. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Although, yeah, I guess he assumes being in Argentina is going to be a shield that prevents anything from happening to him.
Oh, that's why he's doing it. He's trying to give somebody a fucking defense. That's fucking scumbaggy,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. No, that guy's fucking gross, dude. That guy's a fucking psychopath, dude. That guy is a. Ugh. Yeah, what's really crazy about that is Hassan, for the longest time, is like, I'm never gonna watch a video from that guy. That guy is a fucking lunatic. But then he started doing shit about Ethan, like, oh yeah, no, that guy's great. I'm gonna boost that fucking psychopath now because he's going against somebody besides me that I don't like,
Wow, dude. What a
which is not not
fucking
not surprising.
scumbag.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's Hassan. He's a piece of fucking.
Uh,
He's a piece of garbage. He's trash, dude. Yeah, it's again, they're all typical leftist. By any means necessary. No bad tactics, only bad targets.
yeah.
That mindset.
Well, Hassan he supports terrorism, so, I mean.
Yeah, yeah, clearly anti-Semitic and clearly okay,
He had terrorists on
platforming
his fucking
pirate.
show, man. Like, that's how much more okay
Yeah,
can you get?
dude, it's amazing, dude. I don't understand. Like, it's fascinating to me that they tried to deny the anti-Semitism. They try to deny the Jew hatred, and I'm like, how you like? It's so obvious that you fucking literally have a burning hatred for Jewish people. Like, why are you bothering to deny it? You know what I mean? It seems very odd to me that they even bother trying because
Because
it's
they
very
know if
clear.
they're just out straight up saying like they hate Jews, that they'll probably
Yeah,
get kicked off of the fucking Twitch platform.
yeah, yeah. I think
Twitch won't
like
be
it's
able to continue to platform them if they literally just come out and say like, yeah, we hate Jews. Jews are awful.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that'll
They
be the
definitely
end.
can. Yeah, yeah.
Twitch
This
is
is
Twitch is.
yeah,
I'm still floored that all the
yeah.
fucking
That's still
gamers
going
on
on.
Twitch haven't like started a lawsuit against the company at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
rebelling.
we have
Yeah, they
lost
probably asked
significant
them.
amounts of our income because your decision to disregard your own rules and allow terrorists on your fucking platform. Like, that's insane,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, yeah. At this point, I have to assume that Dan Clancy, just for the fact of allowing all that shit, or having the bitch that got fired for being anti-Semitic, hiring them onto the trust and safety team. So I have to assume he's not a fan of the Jews.
Oh, he's definitely fucking against the Jews. One of the things is like what blows my mind is how many people are actively like anti-Jew as if it's like a reasonable, rational thing, and it seems to run the gamut between right and left wing both.
Oh, yeah, far right, far left, dude.
Yeah, Like, there's people who like,
Or
oh
shit,
yeah, Hitler was a terrible person, but he wasn't wrong about the Jews. They're bad. And it's like, no, the Jews were just a fucking
yeah,
easy target, man. Like, they were just an
right.
easy target to say, like, all of society's problems are because of these people, so you can just ignore everything that's actually going on.
Yeah, again, it seems like they're usually a small segment of the population,
Yeah.
but tend to have, again, wealth and resources that are outsized
Yeah,
to their
exactly.
population percentage. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, Jews work really hard, and fucking, it's part of their culture to be successful.
Yeah, it turns
So
out
while
that
I
good with
understand being upset that
finances
you're
and
not
like,
successful, it doesn't mean you need to fucking turn around and blame a bunch of random people that have nothing
yeah,
to do with that. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, the whole thing is just fucking, yeah. But it's been going on for what, a couple thousand years. I know, like Harley jumped on and was talking about it, and it's like, well, this has been going on for like, I'm like, yeah, this particular iteration has been going on for a decade. It's been a couple millennia at this point.
Yeah.
That the Jews and the Arabs have been going at it. It's been a couple thousand years at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They've got a long-standing tradition at this point, really.
Yeah, it's not like it
Uh,
started with Islam. You know what I mean? Like it didn't start with Islam. It was already well established before Islam came along.
oh yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know, man. This whole situation with the Ethan thing is just crazy. And I like
Yeah.
that they were like, oh, but you have to go to our approved Jew and talk to him because he'll set you straight on what is and isn't true.
Dude, did you read the post that I made about Sam Cedar and that I had posted to the Discord?
I didn't know anything about Sam Cedar either,
I
so
didn't know
I don't
much.
really
Yeah,
understand what that was in like any of the references there.
but dude,
I
he
read
certainly
it.
see because again, like, well, my point was like, look, man, it seems like self-loathing seems to be a very Jewish thing, right? Like they seem to be full of a pretty high amount of self-loathing, and I'm like, this guy seems to have taken the Jewish self-loathing to such an extent that he's Jewish and anti-Semitic. He's
Yeah.
an
Oh, okay.
anti-Semitic Jew. Yeah, that
Sort of
was the
like
point I was
Satan in
going for.
satires, like super racist.
Yeah, hating black people.
Yeah, hates black people and he is black. It's like, oh yeah, well
Yeah,
that's weird, I guess, but you know.
yeah, yeah. But it's like, dude, I feel like I would, as a fucking, you know, thinking rational person, would be like, why do all these people that seem to not be you know, not be a fan of my people? Why are they always using me as the go-to to talk to the other Jews? Like, I feel like I would question what I'm doing wrong at that
Yeah,
point,
like you would have
but
some
not
very
him.
serious reservations, like I
Yeah,
don't know, something
yeah,
about this feels like it might be wrong. Yeah.
right, dude. Like maybe I should rethink my ideals. But yeah, I don't know. Just the concept of becoming so full of self-loathing as a Jewish person that you're anti-Semitic is, I don't
Yeah.
know. I thought it was pretty funny, but whatever.
It does seem like it would be a very Jewy thing to do. Like they do tend to be
Yeah.
very self-loathing. That's true.
Mm.
Hard to argue that point.
So yeah, I guess it would be natural for at least one of them to, without realizing it, actually become anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. Uh,
Mm.
and surprising, there's not more.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, he's been around forever. I think he was like tried to be a comedian early on. Because I
Oh
remember,
god, I'm getting images of that Jake Weddle fucking stand up now,
oh god,
trying to be a
dude.
comedian.
Yeah. Oh shit! Apparently something was going on with him. Diorio was talking about it last night.
Okay, so from what I heard and what Diorio was saying, from what I heard, it sounds like this is a wait and see. Like I wouldn't
Yeah,
commit to
yeah. It's
anything because it
very
sounded like it was like There may be a fan who is
Like, it's
making
weird
some
either
weird
way.
art of him and some other guy from Mr. Beast. And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
might be, like, inappropriate, but there's no real indication here that he had anything to do with it other than just being the subject of the art. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't think he was
yeah.
actively, like, interacting with this person. I think it's just some fucking
Yeah, and
kooky
apparently
kid who
there
has a
was...
weird taste in stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's kind of inappropriate either way just because of the age, but I don't think it was anything sexual, or at least I haven't seen any evidence of that.
Well, as
Like,
far
it's...
as I can see, like, I think at one point he commented that the other guy saw it and thought it was funny, and that was it. That's the only thing that I've seen that's any potential thing there.
Yeah. I
And the
was
person is
commenting
even saying,
thing.
like, look, we didn't talk about anything inappropriate, or sexual, or anything. Like, you guys are fucking crazy. Like, why are you bringing all this shit in here that's never been brought up? Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Although I do get the point.
Question.
I do get the point that it's kind of inherently inappropriate because of the difference. I don't know if I can fully agree with that.
Here's the thing. If you're on a YouTube channel and you're fucking well known for being on that YouTube channel, you're gonna interact with kids. That's just part of the fucking job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as long as you're not interacting with kids in a weird, creepy, sexual, inappropriate way, I don't think there's a problem. Like what? Like if I'm in a park and some kid walks up and asks me a question, am I supposed to fucking run? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's at a certain point you have to stop saying it's inappropriate because it's like, oh, there's a kid.
Yeah.
Well, adults can talk to kids. It's not inherently sexual talking to a child. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're just exchanging words like normal humans.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking is because of Lex's...
look exactly like a pedophile, though. So,
yeah, it was. Dad went to jail. Well, Dad went to jail for that shit. His dad was in jail for
his dad went in jail for it, but that you know.
Yeah. But the thing I was throwing out in the chat was his ex-girlfriend is so fucking insane that she might have had, she might actually be, that might be one of her sock accounts that was already trying to fucking set some shit up for down the road.
Oh, like
she seems that fucking
yeah, I could see that. His ex-girlfriend did seem pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, well, she was doing it with whatever her name is, where she was contacting the one chick, acting like she had an account pretending to be Alexa's ex.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there was actually a couple of sock accounts she was using, trying to pretend to be other people. So that's why I was like, all right, yeah, no, this might be as it appears. But I can also, because Lex is such a fucking psychotic bitch, I could see her setting that up, like, as they were dating even. You know what I mean? Because she was, again, that relationship did not last long. And she seems like the person that is going to torpedo basically any fucking relationship. Whether it's a romantic relationship or just friendship or whatever. Like, she seems like the type of person that is constantly... would be the type to constantly be setting shit up to fuck over anybody that she's dealing with.
Oh, probably. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not incredibly likely, but yeah, she is, again, it seems like every single relationship, you know, again, whether not even romantically, just, you know, friends, that kind of shit, don't seem to last long, and they seem to fucking flame out pretty quickly. Because, again, they only dated for a few months, right? I think it was like October to December. Like, I think it was only 2 or 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And it got that fucking bad. Yeah, that was a very short period of time they were together. So we'll wait to see. It's not the most likely thing. I just wouldn't be surprised if it was Lex behind the 14-year-old account. Setting up.
I'm curious to see where it goes, if it goes anywhere. Genuinely, like, I just kind of want to see like what happens from that. Like, I have no vested interest. Like, he already made himself look like a retard. Like, there's not much else he can.
Yeah, he's not going to go much lower.
Yeah, he's not going to drop much lower. I guess pedophile would be lower, but like, I just think it's a case where he worked on a channel on YouTube that a lot of kids are watching, and you're going to have fans from all ages that are going to like send you messages, and you respond to them because it's your job.
Yeah. It does kind of depend on the amount of interaction and the substance
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it
yeah.
does.
If you're
does
like having like daily conversations with this kid, that's where it gets weird. But I
Yeah,
don't
and
think that's
again,
going to
they
be the
were
case.
saying,
It kind of sounds like this is going to be a big nothing burger, honestly.
yeah, for the most part. Although they did say it seemed like he was kind of trauma dumping on her, which is weird. If that was the case, like if you're dumping on a 13 to 14 year old
If
kid
there's
about
evidence to
fucking
support
injuries,
that, then that's definitely weird. Like if that comes out for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But again, like you said at the beginning, wait and see seems to
Yeah.
be the theme of
It's like
this
the
particular
Bon
interaction.
Bonkers thing. Somebody she fucking finally came out and was talking about how she dated some fucking girl or something that was like early 20s when she was like 15, 16 or something. And everybody just
Mm,
assumed it was Emiru, who was like a friend of hers when she was younger. And
yeah,
she came out and she's like, yeah, no, it was not Emiru. You people are fucking psychos. I didn't name the
right.
person
There are other people in the
intentionally.
world.
There are other people in the world. You can't just immediately assume it's always going to be like, this one
Yeah,
person. And
yeah.
it was just
Everybody's
like, it was
just like,
pretty funny. But yeah, that was one of
yeah,
those ones where I'm
yeah.
like, a lot of
Theorizing.
people thought they were dating when she was fucking younger. A lot of people thought her and Emmy were banging.
Yeah, that's fucking deranged.
Well, it was, this girl who'd been groomed so many fucking times by so many different people. It was like,
Mm,
I think they were just loath to suspect anything good, like everything that seems
yeah,
to
they
have
kind of
happened to that
assumed
poor
everything's
chick is
gonna be.
just fucked up. Like, involves a lot of people treating her like people were making fakes of her that like when she was a minor and shit, like fake porn of her and shit, and sending it to her when she was underage.
Wow, holy fuck, dude,
Yeah, dude, and
that's
like the
fucking
guy
nuts.
that groomed her, her parents were like okay with him fucking dating her and shit. Like, dude, that's not cool, man. Talk about not being good
Yeah,
parents. You know what I mean?
what the
You got a
fuck? You're like
15-year-old
serving up
girl, and
your
this
own
guy's like
child.
20 something, 23, 24 or something at the time. And you're gonna be
Yeah,
like, well, she's mature for her age. Nah, dude, you're supposed to make that
yeah,
guy go fucking pound rocks in a fucking
yeah,
cemetery somewhere in the fucking under a fucking gravestone, man. Like, you don't
right.
let her fucking invite him to live with her in her fucking bedroom and with her fucking stuffed animals and shit. Like, the hell's wrong with you people?
Yeah, yeah, that was really fucking gross. I don't. Yeah, I do not understand that mindset at all.
Yeah.
Just
Like, I
allowing your
think
fucking 15-year-old to date a guy in his 20s is so disgusting,
the
dude.
craziest situation I've ever heard, and this ended up with marriage and a family. So, like, it
Mm,
did not end up where you would think it would end up. I had a friend of mine I worked with, and he was like 26, 27. He went to a bookstore, and this girl approached him and asked him out, and they started going out for a while. She had her own job, she had her own car. She didn't, she didn't expect him to pay for everything. She bought dinner some of the time when they were out. And
mm,
they had gone out together for, I think, a year before her mom found out about him and was like, you need to tell him that you're only 17. Like, they met when she was 16 and he was
mm.
like 23, 24.
Oh, right, right. Okay, yeah.
And
Okay,
it's
I'm not.
like, he had
Sorry.
no fucking clue and no reason to believe. You know what I mean? So it's not like, he should have known better. So it's like, yeah, there are situations where that kind of thing can happen, but
Mm.
I
Yeah, because there are definitely some
sincerely.
girls that mature insanely quickly.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
a chick I went to school with, like at 13, she looked like she was like 19 or 20, a tall black chick.
Oh, I
Um,
was fucking. I worked with this one lady. Her daughter was like 12 years old and looked like she was 20. And I'm not exaggerating in
yeah,
even the smallest
yeah,
amount. At the like,
yeah. No, I
legitimately,
believe it, man.
it was
Yeah, no,
freakish.
because I knew that chick, the chick I'm talking about a little bit. So like, yeah, she would tell me like if we on vacation, there'd be like guys hitting on her and shit, and
Oh
the dad had
yeah,
to be like, "Hey, she's 13,
dude. The
back the
number
fuck
of
off."
times that this lady, we're gonna call her JoJo or something, I guess. The number of times JoJo
Right.
would complain about that, where like not only would she have to be like, get the fuck away from my daughter, but like sometimes she'd have to get her boyfriend to step over and like fucking be like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you if you don't get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, she's fucking 12.
Like, she's
Stop.
12 years old. I'm gonna put you in a fucking hospital bed if you don't get the fuck out of here now. Was
Yeah,
insane. Like,
yeah,
she had to do that all the time. Like, there were these guys who would be like, just like not gonna fucking stop trying to hit on her. Like, they just didn't give a shit.
yeah, yeah.
And they're like full
Yeah,
grown
and at that
adults, and
point,
she's a fucking 12-year-old who's like getting scared. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's fucking terrifying, dude.
It was.
Yeah, and again, it's like fucking yeah. Go ahead and call the cops, buddy. Tell them what was going on. That you were harassing a 12-year-old
It was
child.
fucking surreal. Going over and like hanging out like at a barbecue or something with these people, because like
Right.
it's a 20-year-old looking girl who's 12 hanging out with all the fucking 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
And acting
It
and
almost looks
sounding
like
exactly
it almost
like
looks
them.
like she's predatory. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's the same
it
age
was
as the
so
kids.
weird,
Like,
man.
why is that adult hanging out with all these kids?
It was such a weird trip, man.
Yeah.
It was like very strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, you know, it was totally legit. You know, she's just a fucking kid, man.
Yeah. But yeah, if you don't know the story and you see that, you're like, what's that woman doing?
Yeah,
Is
it
she
looked like there was
grooming
a
these poor
grown ass
kids?
woman hanging out with all these little kids, and it's like, nah, she's not
Yeah,
grown ass.
it's gotta
She's
be
12, and the thing is, you'd watch and she'd like, you know what I mean, like the body language and everything all sort of made her look super young, and that was what made it weird, is because it was like,
Yeah, she's still a 12-year-old. She might have a 20-year-old's body or whatever, sure-wise.
it was.
Yeah, she's still a 12-year-old. The mannerisms are going to be different.
Yeah. It was similar to watching like a retarded guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where like
yeah.
their actions and behavior just don't suit the way that they look physically, and so it
so like if you didn't know,
it makes you uneasy when you're watching it. Like, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's off-putting. Yeah.
Yeah, and off-putting is a good way of putting it. Yes, that was what it was. It was just so off-putting because it was like, is this
like even if you know it's like even if you know it looks weird. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So you can imagine anybody who doesn't know. Yeah, it's got to freak them the fuck out. So yeah, the guy, and that's kind of scummy because you know what I mean. If she's acting kind of, she's acting like a 12-year-old, but with that, looking like a 20-year-old. The guy is hitting on her. I would have to assume like, oh, she must be really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
like a
whatever,
stacked ass
some kind
12,
of
like a stacked
retardation.
ass 20-year-old though. Like, I'm sure if she was in a bathing suit, it would have been like fucking Spring Break MTV or whatever. Like, it was just ridiculous. I felt so bad for that kid, just because like that's what a shitty.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Yeah,
that's a tough thing to deal with. Yeah. You're just hanging out with your 12-year-old friends, and you got guys in their fucking 20s like hitting on you and shit. God damn. Yeah, that's a rough way to grow up.
And, even people that weren't like looking like that. I know that like some of my sister's friends who were in there like 13 or 14 years old would get people driving up in cars asking if they could like take their pictures and shit. Weird shit like that.
Oh, wow. That's fucking gross.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, like, oh, you're so pretty. Can I get your picture? You should be a model. Like, you're disgusting. You should be in the ground.
That's fucking gross. Right. Ugh.
Yeah. So, like, top that off with being somebody who looks like they're actually legal. That's got to be just a fucking nightmare. Like a nightmare fucking race to get back in the house every time you leave. Although she's well into her adulthood now, so hopefully she's all right. Her mom was pretty fucking cool though. Like, her mom was not.
Yeah, that helps.
Not a bad person, and like a genuinely good mom. So I think that like.
Yeah.
Odds are really good that girl turned out to be pretty normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure they had a talk like, look, you look way older than you are. This is gonna happen. Just
These guys are fucking gross. They're not. There's something intrinsically wrong with these guys that are trying to hit on you.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was part of the conversation, or should have been at least.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once they find out. Yeah. Obviously, if she looks 20, they're not really to blame at that point. But yeah, if they're still persisting after they know, yeah, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that was the part that got me. Was like there were most of the guys would be like, oh my bad, and like leave or whatever. But there were still guys where she would have to have her fucking boyfriend come over and start threatening people.
Yeah.
Although I heard his argument for masturbating in the shower because she was like unhappy with him for that. She was like, you're not supposed to do that. She didn't like it that he jacked off in the shower, and so she was mad at him about it or something for some fucking dumb reason. And
wow. Okay.
So she asked him about it, and she's telling me the story about this later. And his reasoning was the best I've ever heard. He was like, "Well, my dick gets hard. Why not?"
Yeah, that's been my attitude most of my life.
How do you argue with that?
Yeah, if you don't like it, come in here and fuck me.
Yeah, it's just like,
if it bothers you that much,
if it gets hard, I'm gonna fucking do it. That's how it is, lady.
Yeah, I need to ejaculate. If you want to help, great. If not, shut the fuck up and let me do my thing.
Because it was the perfect answer for somebody who's being a jackass. Like,
Right.
It's none of your fucking business what he does in the shower. Get over it. Like, fucking stop whining. Unless he's leaving like cum all over the fucking shower, then it's a problem for different reasons, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Women are kind of weird about that. They take it personally that you masturbate at all if you're in a relationship with them.
What the fuck? What are you supposed to do? Be a fucking monk?
No. I like my ex. I had to tell her that. I'm like, look, I understand that you do not want to fuck as often as I do. So I jerk off sometimes.
Yeah.
You know. So that's all it is.
What a fucking insane concept that you should have to fucking like wait until they're ready instead of taking care of your own business, man. That's gonna end up with some really unhappy moments in a relationship right there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't want to fuck multiple times a day, like I do, then you got to be okay with me jerking off.
Although I've met girls who jerk off like multiple times a day, though. So I mean, like it runs the gamut.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, although I lied to her about it. I'm like, no, I kind of imagined myself, fucking some famous chick. Definitely none of your hot ass cousins. I definitely have never jerked off imagining fucking your hot ass cousins.
Like, what was that story? There was a story about some guy who, it was on Reddit, so it's probably bullshit. Like all those Taylor the Fiend things are probably all bullshit.
Yeah, a good chunk of them.
Yeah, because they're all Reddit stories that have been up for ages. But there was a Reddit one where this guy like found a virtual reality video of his fucking, like, it was point of view from the fucking neighbor, or no, the girl's sister. The girl's sister. It was point of view of her sister making it for her husband, who was like a salesman or something. Like, he did a lot of traveling. He wasn't home a lot.
Oh, gotcha.
And he started jerking to it when he thought she was gone, and she walked in on him doing that. And that one was pretty funny, but obviously also like one of those things where it's like, I don't think that actually happened.
Yeah, that seems unlikely. I can see that.
Well, like, there's a weird back of your mind thing when you're jerking it in your house and there's other people that live there that's like always on alert for like the slightest wrong noise. You know, like if somebody started twisting your knob really slowly, you'd be like, I can hear that fucking knob grinding against the metal. And he would stop and you'd be like, fucking quick, put my dick away, and then be done. Like it's a natural male instinct.
Yeah, to be ready to fucking cover up at any moment.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
Man. But
I was gonna say for the whole iDubbbz fucking Ethan shit. I really hope he comes out with a content called the Jamas, because I feel like Anissa is responsible for a lot of that, almost most of it, and she seems to be shielded by Ethan. Or by Ian.
Oh, yeah.
And Ian gets most of the shit, and she kind of gets she's in the background, kind of. I assume, again, maybe I'm wrong, but I consider it highly unlikely that I'm wrong. That she is kind of the catalyst behind almost all of that. Not just the what do you call it? Not publicly, condemning the CPS shit, but the dissolution of the friendship. Because again, she does. I mean, it does appear that she's an abusive person and is very domineering and kind of runs Ian's fucking mind essentially. I don't think
I
I've
don't
ever
know.
heard. I don't
Yeah, that
follow
whole
him, but
thing is crazy. I
I
don't know
haven't even
enough
heard.
about either of them. I mean, I'll take your word for it, but
Yeah,
I'm sure you're right.
yeah. No, I haven't seen much because I don't watch any of these people directly. Like the other day, a couple days ago, was the first time I had watched something from Ethan directly in like close to a decade, I'm sure. But the clips that I've seen of them, yeah, she's very domineering. She will cut him off as he's answering questions, like a half of, like somebody will ask him something or whatever. He's answering a question, whatever. She'll cut in when he's like a half a sentence into answering and finish off his answer for him, like that kind of shit.
Oh wow.
Um, which seems very domineering. So I'm assuming it's very much an abusive gaslighty situation. But she catches some shit for being a dumb whore because she's a dumb whore. But she's also shielded from a lot of it, considering she's the source of a vast majority of it. So I really hope, because I really want to hear what Ethan and Gila genuinely think about that bitch, because I doubt it's good.
I want.
Like I don't
I
doubt that
just
they
want to
played
see
friendly
a
with her.
supercut of Ethan saying it clearly meant we should pause. We want to put a pause on the friendship.
Right.
I just want a
Jesus, dude,
supercut
was
of
so
that for like 10 minutes, where it's just him saying it over and over.
right, right.
Like,
Yeah, I
we're gonna
couldn't
put a
believe that. That was
pause on the
so.
friendship. Pause on the friendship. Pause on the friendship. I
Yeah,
think that'd be fucking hilarious
dude.
because it's so
I
psychotic,
really,
dude.
yeah, I really, I'm surprised that anybody is saying that they're not really they weren't really obligated to say anything publicly. Like I get there's no like legal or whatever, but how do you consider that a moral like definite? That considering how much they have
If
back
you're
when the
involved with the
when
same
Lisa started
crowd
her
of
own
people that
cast.
are harassing and basically trying to terrorize like your friends of 10 years, and you're not going to come out and
Mm-hmm.
say like what they're doing is wrong and it's not okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you're a public
yeah,
figure, that's pretty fucking not cool.
yeah. And again, even if they're friends and Ethan and he like stuck up for them, like again when Anissa took shit when she started her OnlyFans. I don't know a lot of the other shit because I don't really pay attention. Definitely,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. So it was
Ethan
clearly a
would
very
have him up.
one-sided friendship. Very clearly, it was a one-sided
Yeah,
friendship. Ethan and his wife thought that they were friends, and apparently they were wrong. You know,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
sad, but
And
it explains why Ethan was so upset. I mean, that's pretty reasonable to be mad about it.
yeah, dude, that
You
is the
know.
most genuine display. Like him finding out on air like that, genuine display of fucking like anger and fucking raw emotion seen online. I think. Like he was like literally like he wasn't stuttering, but he was like, "How could they? Why would they? How could?" Like, there's one part where he's literally doing that, where he can't really articulate what he wants to say, so it just keeps kind of spitting out like half sentences until it kind of locks in his mind. I'm like, wow, he is really, really, genuinely, deeply hurt by this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I understand it. But again, there are people that were literally like, "Oh yeah, no, I have to say anything." I'm like, no, they are. You know what I mean? I was putting myself like if I was in I would have done it before I was even asked. I wouldn't have waited around. I would have been
Oh
like,
yeah,
no, this
dude.
is
Yeah, yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. If
Yeah,
I was like a public figure and you were a public figure and somebody was coming out and like dates while lets his kid eat dog shit off the floor, I'd be like, this guy's a fucking psycho. What the fuck is wrong with him? Like, like,
yeah.
you're
There's
gonna
no
ask
truth to
me,
this.
man.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna be on that.
again,
I'm gonna be on that like hella quick anyway. Like that'd be like ridiculous not to say something at that point.
right? Yeah. So it was kind of making me mad. I'm like, why are you guys fucking saying they're not obligated to? I mean, why? Just because they're not? There's no legal fucking obligation. Is that what the point is?
Yeah, they're not
Because
contractually
that doesn't
obligated
fucking
to,
matter.
but it's social.
Yeah.
There's a very real obligation
Yeah.
there.
There is absolutely, like I said, they should not even have had to ask. And I wouldn't care if I fucking hate him. Again, if Ian and Anissa, for whatever, I don't know why they hate him. Well, I guess it's just because they're Jews, but whatever. Even if I now like despise a person more than anyone else on the planet, I would still come out and fucking defend that shit. I would still come out and say, like, look, man, I hate the guy too. I've been to his house a ton of times. It's always fucking clean. There's no dog shit anywhere in the house. The kids are, they're attentive with their kids.
Yeah.
And the CPS call was fucking bullshit. I'd have no problem saying any of that, even if I, at this point, absolutely despised Ethan. So, yeah, it's very odd that people are, to me anyway, that they're trying to claim that they really weren't obligated to say anything. Again, especially considering that, again, they're in a unique position to debunk that shit because they've been there so many fucking times. You know what I mean? Like, apparently, from what Ethan had said, they'd been over to their house. I mean, outside of like actual IRL friends and family, more than anybody.
Wow.
They had hung out with Ethan and Healer's place more than anyone. Again, outside of like the regular friends and family.
That would sting so much, man. I would put that above the pain that I felt when I found out that like my best friend throughout all of high school was dating the girl that I was into, and they were doing it behind my back because they didn't think I could handle it.
Yeah, I remember you telling the story, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, that was rough. Yeah. Like, that was rough because it was like, oh, my best friend and this girl that I've been actively pursuing romantically while she's in a relationship, not knowing it.
Yeah,
for like the last couple of years.
Yeah, that level of betrayal is fucking.
Or no, I think at that point I've been chasing after her for like 3 or like 6 months or something. It wasn't years, but it was like
right.
I'd been after her for a while. Like I'd been very clear, like I'm super into you. Hey, you want to go out? Blah blah blah. blah. Let's go, on a date.
Yeah.
All that kind of shit.
Yeah, like it's even more of a betrayal than that. Yeah. What Ian and Anisha did is more of a betrayal than
That's
that.
That's what I'm saying. Man. Yeah, even as bad as that was for me, it's nowhere near what the fucking Ethan had right there, man. That's 10 years of them like coming to your house as family, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, Ian and Ethan were friends before Anissa got too. And that's the other gross thing, is Ian trying to pretend like it was just like a casual acquaintance and that they weren't that close. That's complete bullshit, dude. And to claim it is fucking insane. Like, it's pretty obvious. Well, again, I guess it could technically be possible, but in this case, I'm gonna go with Ethan and assume, they were actually IRL friends, very close IRL friends for fucking years.
Oh, yeah.
So, for him to try to downplay it, like, we kind of liked your content, and we like hanging out with you, I guess, but, it was just, so that was fucking gross. And then, just the way they framed everything was really odd to me. Like, when they first started talking about Denham's, Ian's like, and this, this Denham's character, like, playing it off like she's some tangential character, and then, like, 2 sentences later, be like, we are good friends with her. And, like, what the fuck? Why would you introduce her to the conversation as that Denham's character? You know what I mean? Like, she's some side fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah, when they were trying to, like, downplay the whole thing, that was pretty nutty. Yeah, when they were trying to make it sound like Ethan was a psycho.
Yeah. Dude, I was just like, all of this is so fundamentally dishonest, like, disingenuous fucking bullshit, man. Yeah, no, I definitely understand why Ethan was furious. Obviously, Hila was, too. She literally, like, apparently just headed to the studio as soon as she found out. She's like, we're going to fucking talk about this shit. We're going to fucking fire her off. Yeah, that was the other thing. Any of the shit that he was mentioning.
Like, dude, you guys should wait a day before you respond.
Yeah. It was ballsy. And again, I don't know how people are recognizing, like, wow, he did it immediately. And Hassan refuses to even admit that he watched the content nuke, much less actually address anything in it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It makes Hassan look like an even bigger pussy.
The concept Ethan was like, cop thing made them look like lunatics, though.
Yeah, absolutely,
The
dude.
part where they're
Yeah.
like fucking Hassan is talking to the camera and they're all dancing around with L's on their forehead with their hands. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
you
flipping them
realize you're
off and shit.
fucking adults, right? Like, this does not make you
Yeah.
look right. This makes you look
Yeah.
psychotic. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and again, the truly the most psychotic thing is the rift is the disagreement essentially is Ethan doesn't want any civilians on either side getting killed. I mean, that's the main, really is the main point of contention. I guess obviously he's going to be, more sympathetic to the Israeli side because how could he not be? But yeah, he's against all of it. He's
yeah.
against any civilians and children being targeted. Is the main fucking gist of it. You know what I mean? He's okay with there being a two-state solution, all that shit.
He has
And
a really similar
that,
opinion, I think, to our opinion, really.
yeah, yeah.
Where it's like,
Well, personally, I
you
think
know
they're
what?
all
I'm
awful.
not.
But
I'm not here to say that either side is right or wrong. I think both have done horrible things, and both are doing horrible things, and that we need to stop the
yeah,
violence. It's like that's kind of the same
yeah,
opinion. I would say probably an opinion shared by the vast majority of people.
yeah. It is definitely not a controversial opinion, dude.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
the
It's definitely
vast
not out of
majority of people would
mainstream.
say, like, yeah, I think that both sides are right about some things and both sides are wrong about some things, and that the violence needs to stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, it's what really cements the fact that these people just literally hate Jews. Is the fact that that is too much of that's too moderate of a position. Like that's an unacceptable position. That a two-state solution is fine, and that they don't want fucking civilians killed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know how you can deny, you know what I mean, your Jew hatred at that point, if that's an
Yeah, if
unforgivable
you're if
position
you're
for somebody to have.
literally advocating for a one state solution on either side of that fence, you're advocating for like the extermination of a race, or not a race, a group of people.
Yeah, yeah,
Because like,
yeah. It's pretty fucking obvious.
I don't think it matters which side you put in charge. I think they're gonna fucking eliminate the other side in a pretty violent,
Yeah,
nasty way.
yeah, yeah. They're
You
going to
know,
constantly go back and forth at each other and do more atrocity to atrocity, atrocity.
I do think that if you put the Jews in
Yeah.
charge, it would be slower and
Hmm.
more sinister. But you would eventually have the
Right.
Palestinians eliminated, and I think if you put the Palestinians in charge, they would
Oh
line the
yeah.
Jews up against the wall and just shoot them all in the head.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
next
That's the
day.
other
It
thing.
wouldn't
They
even it
talk
would be
about the
like one
genocide.
day afterwards they would just start murdering fucking Jews every day. Until there were as many
Yeah.
gone until
Yeah.
they didn't know there
Yeah.
were
And
any more
again,
left, you know.
yeah. If the Palestinians had the ability, or Hamas for sure, at least had the ability to just wipe out all the Jews, would absolutely. You know what I mean? They're just backwards and don't have the, don't care to, go with modern technology and shit that could actually possibly accomplish what they want. Because again, yeah, Muslims are weird that way.
They put bombs on fucking balloons and float them out over the fucking, over the fucking
Yeah, or
city.
again,
Like,
yeah. I guess they don't do like the suicide bombers much anymore, right? Like that was
probably,
nuts when they used to
hard
do
to
that.
keep a lot of people into doing that.
Yeah, you got to really sell them on the 72 virgins thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And again, apparently, from what I understand, is like their families would get loaded with fucking money from like the king of Saudi Arabia, or like, you know what I mean, that kind of shit. So I kind of get it. Yeah, it's still odd that that was ever a thing where I'm going to be like, yeah, no, it's fine. My life sucks enough that I'm willing to blow up myself and take out some Israelis. My family will be okay at least.
Yeah.
So I have to assume back then it was like an even worse, even more horrible situation if guys were willing to do, to go to that fucking extreme.
Yeah. Well, a big part of it is the fact that the vast majority of men in those societies don't end up with girlfriends or wives.
Yeah,
Many of
yeah.
them end up being like a virgin until death.
Yeah, and that's gonna make you nuts.
Because it's like, oh, the rich guy gets like 20 fucking wives, but nobody else gets one. Like, all right, come on now.
Yeah, that is very, very odd.
Which explains a lot of why you have the left pushing for that society and acting like it's
Mm,
good, because they're always full of hate and vile, disgusting perversion. You know what I mean? Like, that's just
yeah.
vile, disgusting
Mm.
perversion to be like, oh, only rich people are allowed to get married and they get to just own all the women. That's a fucking lefty thing
Yeah,
right there.
only our level. Only the people at our level should be like,
Yeah, oh yeah. That's it's this weird perversion and shit that's normal for the left.
yeah, we don't all want all you trashy people fucking. That's fucking gross or whatever the fuck they think. Yeah, it's fucking. Ugh. Yeah, that classist kind of mindset is really fucked up.
Yeah, it's creepy, man.
Yeah, yeah, and well, it's the same thing with all their alleged high morality or wanting to get rid of the police and all this shit. It's like, yeah, you don't give a shit because it's not going to affect you in your fucking gated communities or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they can afford to have those stupid fucking opinions.
Well, and
But in reality,
how mind-numbingly fucking retarded do you have to be to think that the best way to help poor people out is to take their money and then give it to the government and let the government fix things?
yeah,
It's like, no,
yeah,
let them keep
yeah.
their
'Cause the
own
government's
fucking
such
money
a
and make it so that
yeah, the
they have
government's
the
so
ability to
so
earn
efficient.
more money and they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yep, it's all really fucked up.
Yeah.
World sucks. Bottom line, world fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how this works with Ethan. I'd love to see some lawsuits result from this, where some people lose a bunch of fucking
Mm-hmm.
money, or
Yeah,
property
it'll
or
be
something like
interesting.
that, where they actually maybe face criminal charges. It'd be pretty glorious.
Yeah, yeah, because my initial idea was like, dude, come on, Ethan, back the fuck off. But yeah, at this point, taking as much shit as he has, like, I kind of get why he wants to fucking start suing people.
Oh yeah, well I mean they sent CPS to his house to try to take his kids away from him. Like at that point, all
Yeah,
bets are off, in my opinion.
yeah,
Like you
even
have
before that, though,
a
like,
man
what the
protecting his
fuck?
family at that point. Like, all right, well he's protecting his family. Whatever happens, happens, guys. It's on you.
Yeah, you guys have been like uh, been able to spew some vile fucking vitriol at this guy with no fucking evidence for your claims. All right, my shit might crash, so if I step out because it's telling me to fucking close down Discord
Oh, okay,
or
we'll
wait,
see.
and I keep waiting. So if I disappear, that's what it is, by the way. But yeah, especially now since that happened. Like, yeah, go fucking get them. Like these people are obviously operating at a no consequence free environment and just saying fucking horrible shit and now
Well,
doing horrible
and it
shit.
doesn't sound like the authorities have any real concern or interest in dealing with any of this stuff when it, even though it was like gotten to the realm of like fake
Yeah.
CPS reports.
Right. Yeah. It's one thing when it was all online, but yeah, obviously it has absolutely creeped over into the real world for Ethan and Gila. So yeah, it's very different now.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what
Yeah.
happens. I'm genuinely looking forward to the fucking crazy fallout. Although to be fair,
Mm.
I'm not a fan of Ethan at all. Honestly, I'm still not. Like
Yeah. No, he's still a dumbass lefty. He's just not as fucking dumb as
just
those
has
people.
nothing to do with politics and everything to do with just like basic decency. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like
Yeah. He's kind of gotten better over the last year or so. Yorio's kind of pointed out. But
yeah,
yeah, he's still a bit of a scumbag himself, dude, for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm.
To
Although
me,
it
it's
does seem
like
like he's the type that is trying to improve himself. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how effective he is at it, but he's definitely not as bad as he was. Like especially when his first heel turn several years ago, where he did essentially the same as iDubbbz did, where they just did a heel turn and turned their back on their fucking audience and
Oh
said, "Yeah,
wow.
you're all fucking virgin spurs, and I'm ashamed of you as being my fans or whatever." Like they both kind of did
Yeah.
the same thing.
It always blows my mind that there's these creators who are willing to like turn around and shit on their fucking audience.
Yeah,
Like, do
yeah,
you not realize that's directly related to how much money you're making? Like, is your audience?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was hard, man. Um, and what's his name? Filthy Frank kind of did essentially the same thing, but he didn't go about it the same way that Ethan and iDubbbz did.
Oh, is Filthy Frank a retarded leftist?
No, no, no. But he did that kind of edgy humor and didn't want to
Oh,
do
yeah,
it
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but he didn't really fucking shit on his fans the way Ethan and Ian did. Like
yeah. Well,
his was
because
more of like I
he's not
don't
a
do that
moron.
anymore. I'm gonna go make I'm gonna make music now and not do that shit anymore.
Oh well, that's
So
nuts.
he handled it.
That's a normal thing to just say like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed making this product stuff, this content for you or whatever. But it's time for me to move
Mhm.
on and do something else creatively. This is just not working for me anymore. So love you guys. Gonna
Yeah.
go and make this new
Yeah.
stuff and everything like that. That's pretty
Yeah.
reasonable.
No.
Like that's not an abnormal thing. I see that happen every once in a
Yeah.
while. Even if it's not like the whole channel going down, like Filthy Frank decided to stop doing YouTube altogether. But I've seen where like people are
Mhm.
like, look, this series is just done for me. I can't do this series anymore,
Yeah.
and I gotta
Yeah.
move on
Yeah. He
and do other
closed it
things.
out.
And I hope you guys are willing to
Yeah.
stay for the ride. If you're not, well, goodbye. Have a nice day. I'm not gonna
Yeah, and
worry
again,
about it.
I go back and watch that shit on occasion. Like, yeah, it's a little silly, a little childish, but it's still pretty fucking entertaining. There's really nothing wrong with it. Beyond, again, if you're just averse to edgy humor, I guess. But it's fine. There's nothing fucking egregious about
I
a
never really
vast
cared for
majority of
Filthy
it.
Frank's comedy stuff. It wasn't really my cup of tea. Uh,
Yeah,
what I saw was it
I
was good. It wasn't like it wasn't my personal
well, some of it was silly.
flavor,
Yeah,
but it
some
was
of it was just
quality.
gross
Like
out shit.
he really put a
Yeah,
lot of creativity and work into that. It wasn't like it wasn't just like bullshit. You know what I mean? That wasn't like throwaway nonsense.
yeah, yeah. And anytime you can create any kind of universe like he did with the whole pink guy shit or whatever, didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I guess he tied it together and finished it off or whatever, so that was nice. Before he went
Yeah,
off to his singing career or whatever.
I like his music. I
Yeah,
think
and then
I prefer his music to his comedy. But hey, everybody's got
yeah,
their
I
own
can see
thing.
that. Yeah, yeah, and then for like even Ethan and Ian, my perception of it was for Ethan, it seemed to be vastly motivated by greed more than anything else. I don't think he shit on his old audience, but not to the degree that Ian did, not to the degree that iDubbbz did.
Yeah,
And because yeah, iDubbbz really seemed to believe that a vast majority of his fans were just the incel losers that were jealous of his girlfriend doing OnlyFans. It was a weird, whatever weird. They seem to have carried that over to current day, which is odd. Because again, if that's yeah, I assume there are some former iDubbbz fans that were incel fucking losers that are mad that he won't fucking say the N word, gay F slur word or whatever. If they are, it's an incredibly small percentage
oh
of the
yeah,
audience. So yeah, so his is just fucking almost like a completely judgmental reason for his heel turn. So I almost respect Ethan's more because it was greed. Like that seems like a less immoral reason than to
yeah.
just be judging your audience and thinking they're losers, as opposed to just being greedy and not wanting to get your AdSense cut off. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's kind of my interpretation of the motivations behind it.
Yeah, no way to really know. You can't ever know somebody's
Yeah,
motivations unless they tell you,
yeah,
and even then, they
yeah.
could be lying.
Mhm. Yeah, this is true.
can only guess. It's
But yeah, it's
like I call people narcissists and stuff, but like we're not really diagnosing anybody. You know, it's like at
yeah,
the end of
yeah,
the
we
day, it's
can't.
like you can't really know
Yeah.
everything about a person enough to justify genuinely being like, no, that is a
Mhm.
clinical narcissist. Although in
Yeah.
some
Although that
cases,
reminds
like
me.
you can see, like in some
Hold
of
on.
those crazy, like uh, what do you call them? The one where they're interviewing the criminal.
Oh, the interrogations.
Yeah, yeah. Like some of the interrogations go on long enough and cover enough like random shit that eventually comes like you can kind of tell like, oh no, that guy's definitely a narcissist. Like that's clinical. Just because like the
Yeah,
behavior is
yeah,
totally different than like like an
mhm,
entertainer or something that you're just watching.
yeah, yeah. And there's a couple people online that I'm pretty comfortable with that, like Destiny and Dark Viper. They seem like raging fucking narcissists. They seem
Oh
psychotic.
yeah.
They really do seem psychotic. Like they do seem to have an utter lack of being able to empathize or care about anything other than themselves. Again, can't officially, obviously, can't diagnose anybody with anything officially for many reasons, but they do appear to have to be to that level of psychotic that they just don't care about anyone else other than their themselves.
Oh yeah, for
That
sure.
people are just everything and everyone are just objects to be manipulated and used in their world.
That is a really
Um,
common one. It's so crazy. You see a lot of that in YouTube.
yeah.
I think that's one of those things where it's like that's just an unfortunate side of what happens to people that become famous
Mhm.
as YouTubers, man. It's like
Yeah.
you see a
Well, I
lot of
think
really fucked up stuff with the kids that become famous in Hollywood, and I honestly
right,
I'm
right.
seeing a lot of similar kind of shit with the YouTubers, man.
Right, right. Although I kind of feel like that seed was already there. The popularity just kind of made it sprout. You know what I mean?
I'm
There's
sure, yeah,
YouTubers
but
that are super
I can't help
famous.
but think that if you didn't have a bunch of people kissing your ass all the time, or if they didn't have a bunch of people kissing their
Yeah,
ass all the time,
yeah,
that they would
yeah.
probably
Well,
not
the
get to the
behavior,
level of
they're
insanity that
gonna
they
get more
get to.
extreme.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like
they're
they would
gonna.
never
Yeah,
be as extreme otherwise. Is what I'm saying.
I gotcha. Yeah, but there's plenty of people that are really fucking famous that don't do that kind of shit too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some people are just kind of
I
built
think
that
it's one
way,
of those
and
things
they're gonna get
where
away with whatever they can get away with.
I
Is
think it's
kind of
one
the
of those
bottom
things
line.
where it's the atmosphere just makes it more likely to develop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and
Like,
again, the level of fame and the fan base is going to let you get away with a lot of shit that you wouldn't have been able to if you didn't or weren't as
yeah.
popular. I think that's the main thing behind it. So it's just degrees. They're going to get away with as they think they can get away with,
And the
and because
younger
they
you
have a
are
bigger
when it
audience.
starts, the worse the effect is. I
Oh
think.
yeah,
I think that's a
for
big
sure.
part of it. Is like just
Yeah, look at
starting out at
Jack.
a very young age, and it's like you're not capable. I think you're not mature enough and capable enough at that point of being able to say like, oh, I know these people are all saying these nice things about me and they're talking about how like amazing my work is and all this other shit because they want something from me, not because they actually think it's good.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
don't think you're quite there yet in that headspace to be able to differentiate between people that are just yes manning you to like get something from you or people that genuinely think that you're like really good at what you do.
Right, right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of psychology shit, what did you think of Ian trying to go?
Trying to what? Hello? Oh, it sounds like he must have crashed or something. If you can hear me, I can't hear you. Be interesting here. Let's see. Let me see here. Seem to have lost Mr. Detroit. Is that me or is that him? I think that's him.
Hey!
Hey, maybe one of us is back. Oh, both of us are back. Hey.
You hear me? Am I coming through?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
So I heard, what do you think about, and then that was all I heard.
God damn. Oh, yeah. So with the psychology shit we're kind of talking about, what did you think of iDubbbz flying all the way up to Seattle to try to get that psychology in Seattle guy to change the grade on Ethan's apology from years ago?
The grade on
Fucking
Ethan's
nuts, right?
apology? What the fuck?
Yeah, okay. Yes, dude. Okay, so basically, the psychology in Seattle guy, apparently that's one of his main things, is going through YouTuber apologies and grading them. And then I don't remember even what the apology
That's
was for from
psychotic.
Ethan, but it was years ago, and the guy graded him at like an A plus. So iDubbbz thought it was a good idea to go up there and try to convince him to give him a worse grade on it, to change his grade on it.
Did he think this would have some sort of real world effect? I mean,
I don't understand it.
was
It's
Ethan
so
gonna
fucking
feel
bizarre.
really bad? That's psychotic, man. First of all,
Right.
it's fucking weird that you're grading apologies.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, but
no,
yeah,
I think it's a little weird, man.
don't give
I
a
think
shit.
it's a little weird that you're grading.
Yeah. I don't give a shit.
I
but people
can
do,
say,
so
I can
not,
say,
not the worst thing.
If you're saying they're either sincere or not sincere, like I could see you saying like that's a sincere apology or that's bullshit. And I don't think that person really means it. I can understand that, but giving them like an actual grade like A, B minus, that's just fucking weird to me.
Yeah, kind of. Although it doesn't bother me that much, but I get it.
Let me give.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit that he does it. Yeah, it doesn't bother me that he does it. I just think it's weird to do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's an odd thing to. It's an odd thing to be known for, certainly.
Yeah,
that's your
it's
main
fucking weird, man. But it's even.
Yeah.
But the psychotic part is where you're going to change the fucking grade. Like,
yeah,
you're like going to try to convince some guy to like.
Yeah.
Who's not involved in any of this, who probably doesn't fucking want to be involved in any of this. You know, who's
and
probably
I think
like,
because
I don't want to be involved in your weird psycho fucking war with these people over like bullshit that doesn't fucking matter.
And it's kind of like what he said. Yeah, because he was kind of like, he's like, yeah, I guess I have a policy of, not really changing my grades, I guess. So it's obviously you never even thought about this.
So
again, it's so fucking bizarre. Yeah. So he kind of came up with it on the spot, basically. I guess I don't really have a policy of doing that, or whatever. But yeah, it was just so odd because I think
was the entire tone of the conversation of the psychologist guy being like, This is
what
okay.
Are you doing here?
Get the fuck out of here. Can you just leave? Like, we're fucking weird here. Can you go now? I don't really want to be involved in your weird psycho bullshit. Like, get the fuck away from me, you creepy fuck. Like.
Yeah, I've got to assume he just didn't want to say it because, again, the rabid, what fans iDubbbz has left are going to be the rabid type to go after you, so he didn't want to fuck with that.
I would just ignore my social media and tell him to get the fuck out of my office. I'd be like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, buddy, but just get the fuck out of here. I don't want nothing to do with you and your weird psychotic personal issue. Like, you don't like this guy. That's great. I don't fucking know either of you well enough to give a shit. Get the fuck out of my office.
And he kind of said that. Yeah, he kind of said that. He's like, look, when I'm doing these grades, I'm not grading any of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm just listening to the apology and grading that apology on its own, without anything else really factored in. And then, because I think the reason that iDubbbz like this was in his head for any reason is because Ethan would bring it up pretty regularly. But it was pretty obvious he was joking. Like, he doesn't, you know what I mean? He doesn't care if he really care all that much if he got an A plus or not from this guy, you know what I mean? But he would joke about it and he would reference it. And it's pretty obvious that he's just being a fucking smartass, you know what I mean? He's just being like sarcastic about it. But because Ian and Anissa are fucking psychopaths, they really thought he took like this genuine huge amount of pride in it. And so they thought by getting it, if they could get it changed, it would really demoralize them or something. And I just don't get that impression from Ethan at all. There's
Yeah,
plenty
I
to
doubt
criticize the
Ethan
dude
would give
for.
two shits in a fucking Coke. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like again, it was obvious in the clips that IDubbbz was playing, without any other context, because I haven't followed either of them for almost a decade or whatever. He was just fucking around. Like it should be obvious to any normal fucking human being that he's just fucking around, bringing it up. He's not actually have like some arrogant pride in the A+ thing, or a little, I guess, but he doesn't really fucking care. But
yeah,
I think in Ida's and Anissa's mind, oh my god, this is gonna just devastate him if we can get him to change it to like a B- or whatever. I was like, God, dude, that is so fucking pathetic, man. Because again,
that
like I said,
is.
Ida's played a few clips of him doing that, and I'm like, he's obviously joking. He's obviously just being a fucking sarcastic asshole. Trying to be like funny about it.
That is so
Um,
fucking bizarre.
Dude, yeah, I could not believe he would actually go so far. You know what I mean? To actually go up there, to go like not even just like call him or like have a fucking Discord caller with him or whatever. He literally flew up there to try to convince this guy to change his grade on some fucking apology from years ago.
Yeah, I got nothing on that one. That's
Dude,
that's fucking
it's
crazy.
bizarre, right? Yeah.
That's
So I
just.
gotta imagine
I'm trying to think of
I
like
gotta
the
imagine the
words,
words
man.
out.
Just like.
It's bizarre and absurd are the words that come to mind.
If I were the person who had made this grade and this dude showed up at my door, I would feel unsafe. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like I would feel like I don't think you're a normal rational person that I want to be around because I think you're genuinely a danger to like everyone around you.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah,
Like,
I would be like, all
and
right,
I'm not saying that to
I'm
like,
gonna,
oh, I'll fucking burn, sick burn, or whatever. Like, no, it's just
right.
legitimately like that. That seems like behavior of somebody who is not a safe person.
Dude, dude, this is the craziest part. The guy refused to change it, and Ian still thought it was a good idea to include it in his video. That's the
That's
craziest part.
well, yeah.
I
Me
mean,
and
it's all
also thought
crazy.
it would be a good idea if they all danced around like fucking little kids, flipping off the camera and
Yeah,
holding an L over their forehead, like that was a normal thing to do, and not making you look like psychotic people. Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
this were like a legitimate political thing, that would be the thing that lost him the election.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean? Like, cause like not like there's a lot of people that are fans on both sides, right? But ultimately, it's not that big of a fan base. Like compared to a lot of other shit, there's a lot of other things that are more famous. Most
Sure.
people have no idea who these people are other than like their names. Like they've heard iDubbbz or
Yeah.
they've heard Ethan Klein or they've heard Hassan Piker's name, and they know that they do something online.
Yeah,
An
yeah. And
average
nobody gives a shit.
person watching that content cop is going to be like, these people are unhinged lunatics.
Yeah,
Like they're unhinged lunatics, and
yeah.
I've seen a fuck ton of people who just don't normally get involved in any of this kind of shit actually
Mm.
talking about the fucking content cop thing.
Yeah, I was surprised that the actual Justice Warrior talked about it.
None of them in a
I found that
positive
pretty
light.
surprising.
Not one of them is
Yeah.
saying like it's good or reasonable. They're all saying like
Mm.
he's just lying through the whole thing, and he looks like a
Yeah,
fucking psycho, racist
yeah,
lunatic.
yeah. It's insane how far reaching the negative impact of this seems to be for him, dude. It's
Yeah, I think it's
spectacular.
definitely gonna fuck him over long
Yeah, well
term.
earned. But yeah,
Anyway, let's try to like look at some other stuff. Um, like, because it's kind
Yeah,
of just
sorry,
going to
that,
go around
dude.
in circles with this thing. I think at this point, like, we've kind of covered
Yeah,
everything about it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Again, anything that's dude, it's fascinating. It's just so fascinating to me. That's why I kind of like, get
well,
obsessed with it because it's
you know,
so fucking
all the
crazy.
players are kind of assholes, so it's kind of fun watching them just destroy each other. It's like, you know,
Yeah,
very
for sure.
Schadenfreude, a lot of Schadenfreude there. It's like all these people just making themselves look like psychos.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
But
The
and it's
Jordan
very
Peterson thing is pretty funny because
yeah.
everybody, everybody's going out of their way to remind like Ethan and everybody about what Jordan Peterson said back when Ethan had him on. Do you remember?
No.
What, years ago? Yeah, Jordan Peterson, like he had he did the video with him. It was fine, but again, his crazy leftist audience was like, "How dare you talk to this evil person?" And like he actually took the video down. And Jordan Peterson was basically brought up the kind of that purity test argument
Oh
where
yeah.
like
Sooner or later, you're gonna fail the
you're
purity test, man.
walking. Yeah, and obviously it took longer than you'd think, but yeah, it finally happened. And nobody is really surprised, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
it's a
kind of
real
hit instead
problem.
of
There's
Ethan
like
and them
one
with that
side
shit.
politically that just will not
Yeah, you're evil if
accept
you
that
interact
other
with
people
somebody
have
that's evil.
other opinions about how to solve our problems.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's again, it's not just a disagreement. The person that disagrees with you is evil
Oh yeah, like my
and
dad
should not
actually
be dealt with
straight
on
up
any
called me a
level.
monster, dude.
Mm,
Because I
yeah, it's
refused to
insane.
say that Trump was a Nazi because you know he's not a fucking Nazi. Because there are no
Right, right,
Nazis
yeah.
left. The fucking World War II ended a long
Mhm.
time ago. You fucking lunatics. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, the
yeah. No, that's
fucking
what
soldiers from Germany
it
in World War II are still running around and causing
right.
evil and
Oh man.
fucking
Although it's
whack
funny because
jobs, man.
Hassan and his group definitely throw that Nazi word around a lot,
Well,
and it's
and
kind of funny,
considering how
especially
anti-Semitic they really are, it's like you guys were
yeah,
way more Nazi-esque than anyone you called Nazi.
yeah, dude. I've been saying that for years. I'm literally like, you guys have more in common with them than whoever you're calling a
Well, the
Nazi,
Nazis were a
and at
left-wing
least
group.
one major issue.
The Nazis were a left-wing
Yeah,
group. They were the National German Workers' Socialist Party.
yeah, socialist. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the National
Mm.
Socialist German Workers' Party or whatever. It was like that's what Nazi was short for. Was the national
Yeah,
part of it's like Naturaliste or something like that. It's like Nazi was
yeah, whatever it is,
short for
whatever
being
German bullshit.
nationalist. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's so funny, and like the funny thing is you see that shit on like Wikipedia and stuff where it says it's like a left wing movement. It's like no,
Oh,
they
people get
weren't. Like
freaked
we
out.
all know they weren't. Like I don't understand why you're actively putting up false like information. You know, it's sad.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's
you
fucking
know,
bizarre.
it's like a fun game to read through like Hitler's speeches and Black Lives Matter speeches and be like, which one was Hitler, which one was Black Lives Matter. If you just take all the like white people out of the BLM speeches and
Yeah,
all the Jew out of all the Hitler speeches, you can't tell them apart because
yeah, it's fucking
it's the
crazy.
same insidious propaganda of convincing people that they are helpless to change their own life. They can't do
Mm.
anything because there's this invisible cabal of people that are holding them back. Oh no, it's so hard.
Mm.
And it's like, no, life is
Yeah,
fucking miserable, and you gotta fucking claw your way out of the fucking gutter yourself, you dumb fucks. Like
yeah. Don't blame
you're the
anybody for
only
where
one
you're
that
at.
can make a change in your behavior. You can't change anyone else's behavior. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. The only thing you can control is yourself. And
Mm.
teaching all these
Yeah,
people
and a
that
lot
they're
of
just
them.
helpless and they can't do anything because there's this invisible magical group of people that are holding them back is so fucking toxic and poisonous. You create
Yeah,
a bunch of
yeah. It's
infants
pretty
that don't
insidious.
have the ability to support themselves in their fucking adult lives. You know, it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the really insidious part. Is like, yeah, there might be a few people that are like, you know what, I'm going to succeed anyway, and they're probably the
yeah.
people that were going to succeed no matter what. But again, a vast majority of people that might have been fine are going to be like, "Oh my God, the system's rigged against me. Why do I bother
Oh,
trying? Why
you
would I
see
bother trying?"
rich kids crying about this shit. You know, the people who are like
Oh
rich and
God.
like fucking. I watched a video
Yeah.
where it was this. I don't really care for this. He's like a black cop or something that does YouTube. I'm not a big fan of
Mm,
his content, but like you know, whatever. Like I don't need to be. He you know, He's a little more of like the Christian moralist conservative than I am.
Right.
But he was talking to these kids, and these kids are talking about how they can't succeed. It's like, you're at an Ivy League college, you fucking moron. Like,
Yeah,
you've
it's amazing.
already won the fucking race. Like, even if you're in
Yeah,
debt when you
way
get out of
ahead.
there, if you don't make the dumbest decisions possible, and you get a degree that actually makes money, you're so far ahead of everyone else in the country that it's not even funny. You
Yeah, and
know,
you're still
like,
claiming you're
and you're
oppressed.
claiming to
It's
be oppressed because
fascinating.
white people, like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and again, a good chunk of them, from the fucked up admissions things they do, probably do not deserve to be there.
Oh
There's
yeah, that's
probably
the other
Asian,
thing, is setting people up for
white
failure
people.
in a position where they can't possibly succeed.
Mm.
We get this.
Yeah, and then
That
I
happens where I
assume,
work all the time in my program. Also, get clients that are
right,
just
right.
not ready to be outside of a mental health institution and are not ready to make those choices themselves yet.
Yeah,
And they put them
yeah,
in
no,
our
not an
program, and
ability
they
for
they
any kind of
crash and burn in
autonomy.
like 3 days and go back to the locked facility. And it's like, well, you just made it
Yeah, they
that much
never should have
harder for
been here
them
in
to
the first place.
succeed because they're so used to failure, man.
Yeah, yeah. They just want to spit them out as soon as possible, or whatever their
Oh,
fucking rationale is.
it's ridiculous because, like, humans aren't stupid. You know what I mean? So if you know that the only reason you're locked in a facility is because you have made statements that make
Hmm.
it sound like you're a potential danger to yourself or others, well, it's really easy to just lie and say the things you know they want to hear to get out.
Yeah, yeah,
And the people
yeah.
that
That
work
definitely
there
seems like the
are
main
not
motivation.
getting paid very much compared to other people, and they don't really give a shit. So if they're hearing what they want to hear, then they're done, and you can go whatever.
Yeah,
You know, they
yeah.
don't
They're
give
like,
a
well,
shit.
they're saying all the right things, so I guess they're good now. I guess they're cured or
Exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, mm.
And that's
Yeah.
where it
That
really
is
becomes an
definitely seem
issue.
to be the way the system is set up to operate. Instead of having to, I don't know how you would do it. It's not my job to, but yeah, I don't know how do you suss out sincerity from the insincere in those situations. There's got to be some kind of test or some kind of,
Oh well,
uh,
you
I don't
keep
know,
notes on
behavioral.
people. You keep notes every single day. So what you do
Yeah,
is you look at their actual
yeah,
behavior and you judge based on their actual behavior, not on the words coming out of their mouth.
yeah.
Are they
Not with their,
actively doing the programs? Are they actively putting in the work? Are they actively trying to improve themselves in some way?
yeah,
Or are they
yeah.
just
And if you're
doing
paying
nothing?
attention, you're still going to get fooled occasionally. But yeah, if
Oh
you're
yeah,
actually
yeah,
paying
but it's going to be
attention,
much
you're going
less
to
if you're
catch
going
most of
by
it.
people's actions than by their words, because the actions are
Yeah,
what matter.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
I can
What are they
say
doing when they
anything I
think
want,
nobody's
but what I
watching?
actually do is the thing that actually matters.
Yeah. What are they doing when they think nobody's watching? If that's possible to track,
Well, and that's the
it
thing,
would be
is
tremendously helpful.
it's not what are they doing when everybody was watching. It's they can't fake it all the time. So if you're watching
Yeah, so
and
they're gonna
keeping
slip
track
up.
of them all the time, they're gonna slip up, and you're gonna see the real deal pretty easily.
Yeah, but yeah, there's not. Nobody really actually cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking unfortunate.
You know, it's like what was it? I was watching a video where some lady was stealing from charity, like for the fucking kids charity or whatever. Or not? Was it a lady? Or
Oh, the
was like
bitch in
the?
Baltimore.
There's so many of them. So yes, probably. You know what I mean? Like there's it's like every
Yeah.
fucking DEI hire and like BLM like charity is stealing from the charity. Like they're
Oh,
all
that was
doing
the
it. So
Boston one. The bitch in Boston, where the Boston DA office gave her like $6,000 for something, and she
yeah, yeah,
used it
yeah.
for
That's
like.
the one I posted recently. But there was another one before that.
Yeah, I posted one in Baltimore. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The one you
yeah.
posted in Baltimore. I think that's probably the one I'm thinking of.
Mm,
Where she was stealing from like a children's charity, and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
and that's it. Doesn't even have to be that extreme. Like the place I work for, literally every time manager gets changed, they buy new office furniture.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
fucking weird.
the house I work at is 3 houses that were built separately that have all been connected over the years. So it's like there's like 10 fucking bedrooms and shit. It's crazy.
All right.
But instead of considering they only have AC on like one half of the house and working heat on the other half, like there's heat
Mm-mm.
on both sides technically, but one side is a really new furnace that actually works and maintains a steady temperature. The other side isn't. And then one side has an
Right.
AC unit and the other one doesn't. So instead of rectifying that with the extra money they have, they're like, we want to put up a basketball court so the guys can play some basketball. And it's like,
Wow.
what are you doing? Like, put up,
Yeah, that's
fix
pretty
the
fucking
heating
gross.
and AC system, or
Yeah, it's going to have a much
we have
more
rats that are
positive
getting in there
effect.
all the time. Pay to have the people that rat-proof houses come out and rat-proof the fucking building. You know, do something that's actually going to improve the program in some fashion. You know, not like,
Yeah.
we've got a basketball
Yeah,
court. People
that's
can
going to
come
at
out
least
and take
making
pictures
people.
of the basketball court. You know? It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's going to at least make people physically more comfortable.
Yeah, and then
Instead of having a few people that might enjoy playing basketball sometimes.
exactly. Well, and when you're taking antipsychotics, it can affect your ability to control your internal temperature.
Oh wow! Right.
So like, you can easily get overheated or too cold if the ambient temperature is not within a certain range, which we have to maintain by licensing as much as possible. And so like a lot of these, you know, a lot of these things, it's like, they haven't fixed the ramp that I fell on.
Oh wow!
They didn't even pay somebody to come out, sand it down, and put like a fucking like non-slip paint on it or something, or like throw down some fucking gluey, like those sand strips or whatever. It's
that's
ridiculous.
Fucking nuts, dude.
It's so insane. Like they haven't done all this maintenance and stuff, and it's like, but they're trying to fucking. They're talking about putting in a basketball court and shit, and it's like, you guys are out of your fucking minds. Like, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, how do your priorities get that fucked up where you think that's more essential than...
Well, it'll make it look good at coffee,
AC.
fucking, you know, when they're out for cocktails with their friends and their fucking socialite bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, when they're trying to look good for... Because none of these people are there doing, like, long hours of work. All the people that are making these decisions are the ones that are there for, like, 30 hours a week at most.
Right.
Getting paid for full-time, but they're certainly not putting in full-time hours. That's the staff.
Mm. Yeah, so they don't give a shit about any of that. They're like, well, my AC works.
Yeah, exactly. They go home and their AC works, and that's what matters. And
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
just so fucking ridiculous, man. But especially, like, the amount of just random shit they made these fucking guys do an egg hunt on Easter. Most of these guys are your age and my age.
Jesus. Dude.
Like, there's I think, like, 2 guys out of 10 that are, like, one's in his mid-20s and the other one's in his mid-30s. And the other ones are all, like, between, like, 40 and 60.
That is unreal, man. Holy shit.
Yeah,
like, no,
11 clients, none of them are young enough to be a kid, looking for fucking eggs. It's insane, dude.
That is wild.
It's insulting to them too. You know, it's like you're like degrading these people at a certain point.
Yeah, you're like infantilizing them. Yeah, that's bizarre, man.
Yeah, some of the licensing is infantilizing. It's very weird. It's like what do you call it? No one's allowed outside from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Oh, wow.
So they're not allowed to go outside. I have to pick up the fucking remotes every night. The TV remotes, they're not allowed to have the TV remotes out there. So, like, you know, if somebody can't sleep for whatever reason, they're not allowed to go watch TV. They gotta fucking stay in their room. just have no other options because they're like fucking kids and they're not allowed to be out of their rooms. It's so fucking absurd, man. I mean, can you imagine? Because, like, what was it, when, at least when I was doing, like, the awake overnights, they would let me, if I stepped out with the clients could go out and have, like, a cigarette at night if they were, like, having trouble sleeping and just needed to have a quick smoke.
Yeah.
And I would
yeah,
do that.
makes sense.
Even when I quit smoking, I was just like, yeah, I'll stand out and they can have a cigarette. Like, whatever, no big deal. It's not a problem for me. But, like, they don't even let them do that anymore. Like, they canceled that because of licensing. Licensing was like, oh, no, you can't do that even if the staff is out there with them. It's too dangerous. Like, what do you mean? I'm standing right the fuck there. Like, what danger?
Yeah, you're creating a
they're
situation.
grown-ass adults smoking a cigarette on a porch in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you're kind of creating a... Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I'm sure, like...
Yeah, you're creating a situation where they're going to want to sneak out. Like that, you know what I mean? You're making it to where they're going to want to try to sneak out to do this shit.
Absolutely know that these guys are probably sneaking out a lot at night.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be shocking if they weren't. It would be fucking crazy if they weren't.
So there are 9 client rooms, and there's like the office, and there is a secondary like meeting room where we have to have a separate room other than the office where we can meet with people and it's more confidential. This doesn't really make a lot of sense,
right.
But you know, it's what it is. But out of the 9 client rooms, 7 of them have sliding glass doors in the room connecting to the outside. So, like, if you're going to tell me that these grown-ass adults are just not going anywhere or doing anything late at night after, like, the lights are out and I've done my rounds, you're fucking out of your mind.
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
At the very least, some of them are, like, stepping out and having a cigarette now and again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, like, when I was in rehab, they had, like, you know, those kind of rules for a temporary thing like that, I don't think are a problem, and probably, you know, good idea or whatever. But yeah, they had like alarms and shit though. Like if we fucking opened the door to go outside, dude, the alarm shit went off and let them know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would they not let you guys go have a smoke or whatever? Or was it like just too much of a concern for like go out and do drugs or?
Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure. I mean, that one in particular was a more of a lockdown type spot where you were technically free to go, but I mean, as long as you were there. Like the rehab I went to the second time, like you could be like, hey, I'm going to run to the store, or I'm going to go to a meeting, or I'm going to go, you know, do whatever. You could go, you know, leave the place, you know, at least once a day or whatever. Yeah, you just had to be with another person in the, you know, that was in there with you in rehab.
Oh,
but you could go to a meeting.
Go like get a cup of coffee and a fucking pack of smokes. You got to go talk to the guys and be like, hey, anybody want to go with me to get a cup of coffee and a pack of smokes?
Yeah, they just didn't want anybody going out alone. But yeah, you could do it. I mean, you couldn't do it all day, everything, which is, you know, fine. Like I said, it's a situation where you kind of need to have some kind of structure like that. So, but yeah, a place that's more long term, like you know where you're at.
Oh, some of the guys have been there for like 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah. See, the ones I'm talking about is like 6 weeks at the most. Like the first rehab I went was like 42 days. So
the other programs we have where those are the rules that make sense are like 18 months to 24 months. And I get it. You know, they're dealing with people that are not as high functioning as the clients who I'm working with right now. They're still not ready to be that level of independence for like a board-in care. But like we're a board-in care, the concept that they're not allowed outside between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. is ridiculous. Like I can understand saying like, hey, you can't leave the property without getting an okay from your conservator or from the staff. You know, but like, not like stepping out into the front front yard or the backyard to have a smoke at like 10 o'clock at night. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. The one that I went that was up in Chandler, like up in the Phoenix area. Yeah, that was the one that was more, you know, much more lax. Like if you got up in the middle of the night, you could go get a smoke. They might give you a little shit about it, but they're gonna let you hang out and have a smoke. You know what I mean? They're not gonna
Yeah.
fucking stop you from doing it. You know, they want you to be, you know,
They're
back in your room or
rational.
whatever. But
They're,
gonna,
they're
yeah,
rational
yeah,
people. That's the thing.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, but you know, just wanting to go out for a smoke didn't make a lot of sense to me. At the first place I went to, the more lockdown type place, um, yeah, I guess the rest, yeah, it kind of made sense. Honestly, that place was better for me at that time. If I would have gone to the one that I went to for my second rehab, if that was my first one, just again, being so easy and what do you call it? Having that kind of freedom, being that close to home would be the worst thing. I would have been home in a week. Like I would not have stuck it out. So it's actually good that I went to the shitty place in Florida.
Yeah.
And because yeah, I was absolutely thinking about going home that whole first like fucking I don't know, week and a half.
Oh, no
Um,
doubt, man. No doubt. That's a big difference being in a lockdown kind of facility versus just living at
mm,
your house.
so
Massive, massive difference.
mm. So yeah, like I said,
I
that
wouldn't
was
want to
so
live
the
under the
second time I
rules.
didn't need that. I wasn't nearly as fucked up. So yeah, that second time I went to the one up there, 30 miles away from here or whatever. That was fine. Because again, I wasn't that fucked up. I wasn't gonna fucking. I checked myself in. Nobody suggesting I needed to go
Yeah.
before it became as bad as it was the first time. So I handled that fine. I wasn't going home, even though home was only fucking half an hour drive away. But yeah, that first place. If I was in Chandler instead of Florida, yeah, I would have been back with like within 5 or 6 days. Definitely within the first week. So they have their what do you call it? I guess their positives and negatives. The lockdown thing, yeah, it definitely felt a little. I don't know if demeaning is the quite the right word, but kinda. You know what I mean? It was just like
Yeah.
you really are. It's like kids. Which even then, addicts early in recovery, it's not that far off. You know, you're kind of a fucking mess. God damn it! Another fucking penalty. Fuck you, referee. Sorry, I'm playing the hockey as we talk.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and it was even like dude, every day was kind of like when you're in because it's a 6 week thing. Usually somewhere between after being there like 2 to 3 weeks, you would get moved over where at night they had like this little apartment complex area where the people that have been there long enough with yeah, it was kind of fucked up because the criteria for it was if you have really shitty insurance, you're probably going to get moved over in like 2 weeks. If you have really good insurance, you're probably not going to get moved over until 4 weeks because they
Oh,
can
wow.
charge more for you being inpatient as opposed to being over in the apartments and shit. Yeah, it was pretty
Oh.
fucked up. Yeah, that rehab was a little shitty. I kind of learned later. It wasn't the worst, but yeah, they did
Yeah.
some shitty stuff like that.
I would imagine there's a lot of fucking rehabs are pretty shitty.
Yeah,
Honestly.
well, it's an incredibly fucking incredibly lucrative
Oh,
business or
yeah.
whatever. They charge so much fucking money for that shit, man.
Well, and it's
Yeah,
like
I think.
some of the laws and the regulations where I work make a lot of sense because there's some crooked motherfuckers out there. Man, like the clients are not allowed to sleep on the furniture at all. So like we have
Mm,
4 recliners and a big long like 3-person couch in the living room, and they're not allowed to sleep in the recliners or on the couch.
mm,
And the
all
reason
right.
for that is if that were allowed, there would be programs where like one person's bedroom would be the couch in the living room. You know what I mean? Like they
All
would
right.
have like
Yeah.
all the bedrooms stuffed full of people. There's a minimum square footage for a bedroom in order to have more than one person in it. And then
Oh,
there's a
gotcha.
minimum to
Okay.
have more than two. And you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of licensing rules that are like that because they're just like, nah, we want to make sure that you actually are giving them enough space to like live reasonably, like
Yeah.
comfortably.
Yeah. You're
Because
not just
like
cramming in people to get a shitload of money out of it.
get a shitload of
Yeah.
money and then not do any of the stuff that not give them anything in return, really.
Right. Right.
Like imagine being at that lockdown place for all that time and you have to sleep in the living room on the couch every night. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be pretty fucked up. Like, sorry. Yeah. Once this other guy leaves, you might get a bed.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So there's a lot of rules like that make sense for like that kind of thing, even though they're kind of dumb. Because like I don't fucking care if somebody wants to sleep on the couch for a night, unless it comes down to a problem where everybody wants to sleep on the couch and nobody's willing to take turns. Then it's an issue. But otherwise, I mean, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. That's very, very odd.
But I gotta tell people like, no, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to sleep on the couch. You gotta go to bed.
Yeah. I
Or
don't care
nah,
if
you
your
can't
roommate
sleep in
snores.
that. Yeah, I don't care. You can't sleep on the fucking recliner in the living room. You gotta go to bed. That kind of shit.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
here's
That's
one
pretty
that's a
odd.
trip. So obviously I go through at night before I go to sleep and I just lock all the doors and check to make sure all the clients are there, right? Like just, make sure
Yeah. A
that's
quick
all
head count or
legit.
whatever.
And like sometimes in the morning doors are unlocked and they're like, "Well, didn't you lock the door?" And it's like, "Yeah, retard, there are 11 human beings in the house who have fingers. How do you think the door
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
unlocked, you fucking
Mm.
genius?"
Yeah, it's not some kind of weird fucking puzzle
there
to
was
figure out how
no
to unlock a fucking door.
there was no ghost. Although
Right.
I did see some ghosts in the living room like the other night.
Oh
So
yeah.
lights out is at 10:30, so I usually go do my room check at like 10:40. I figure everybody's got to
Mhm.
be in bed by then, and that's when it's worth looking. Most of the
Yeah.
time, they're there from like when I get there at 10 o'clock till when I leave. But you never, just to be nice, I want to make sure I'm not like
Yeah.
making
Give
anybody
them a
feel
little
like they
leeway.
got to go to bed early or something just because I'm walking around. And I go out in the living room, and two recliners are just rocking back and forth real hard, empty.
All
It's
right.
pretty fucking funny because I thought I'd heard when I was in the hallway coming around the corner just before I went around the corner, a door shut, and it was because one of the guys got up and I think he was sleeping in one and he used the other one when he was getting up to help pull himself out of it, and then fucking they both got set to rocking, and then he ran into his room. And I was just
Yeah, that
like,
makes sense.
and the funny thing
Oh
is,
shit.
literally, if I walk around the corner and they're out there, I'm just like, hey, it's time for bed. You gotta head to bed. Thanks, man. And then I'll
Yeah, there's
walk
really no
off.
need for them to scurry off like
Yeah,
they're gonna
I mean,
fucking
depending on who it
whip
is, I
them or
might sit
something.
there and wait because some of them will just try to
Right.
fucking play games. It's like, and I get it.
Yeah,
They're
they'll
an
act like
adult.
they're
They don't
getting up.
want somebody telling them what to do. But they
Yeah.
gotta follow the rules like everyone else. It's my job. I have to fucking enforce it. So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, giving them 40 minutes is plenty.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like, if the TV, if they're watching something on TV and it's like 10 more minutes left or 20 more minutes left, fucking watch the end of it and turn it off when you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not super worried about that. They're grown ass men.
Yeah. Start giving them all like they did the first rehab. They were very, very fond of giving everybody Seroquel for as a sleep med.
Which is funny as fuck if you think about it.
Yeah, it's very effective.
It's like,
Yeah, I
hey,
don't know if you're familiar with
you
Seroquel,
guys
but
been
holy
addicted
shit.
to drugs. We want to help you not be addicted to drugs. Here, take this drug. It'll help you sleep.
Yeah, and then that one's yeah, dude. It is insane how much that drug kicks your ass, though.
Oh,
Dude,
believe
that is
me, dude, I
so.
have seen people on it. I know what you mean. Seroquel is one of
Dude,
the
this.
drugs they use. Haloperidol and Seroquel are the two primary drugs they drug people with before shipping them to California from other states.
Yeah, that makes sense, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, because they had me up to like 50 milligrams, dude, and I
Oh,
was
that's
like
a
doing shit like
baby
obviously getting
dose.
knocked the fuck. Yeah, and even that was too much, dude. I was
That's
like, dude, I'm
that's a
getting up because there was
baby
one night.
dose. What they're not even giving you
Yeah.
Seroquel. They're giving you Sarah. You're not even getting the whole quill
Oh
in it
fuck,
there.
dude.
50
Yeah, that
milligrams.
was
The
yeah,
minimum
because again,
dose
even
I've
the
ever seen anybody on where I work is 100 milligrams.
yeah, yeah, no, that gets crazy amounts. But yeah,
And
no, it
that's
was
the
like
smallest.
it was
Usually
not
it's
only
2 to
knocking me
400.
out. Yeah, yeah, it was not only would it sleepwalking shit. Like I'd get up in the middle of the night, and the bathroom was right next to our room. Like literally,
Oh,
as you get
yeah.
out of the other door to the bathroom, was right fucking there. And I would like walk past that and go piss in the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Like I was doing shit like that. And I'm like, you got to knock me down. This is too much. I went down to like 100, and even that was too much. So I went down to 50, which is still enough to fuck you up and kick your ass, like knock you out. But yeah, and then there were people in there that were actually taking it as the original, antipsychotic medication. They're like, yeah, I take like 500 milligrams. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like,
Yeah.
how do you fucking function? How
Yeah,
do you
often you'd
fucking?
see somebody take like 200 in the morning and 300 at night, and you're like, how the hell is this
Yeah,
working, man? Uh,
yeah. I was like, that's nuts, dude.
Clozaril is one of the ones that I always found was nutty that people would take gigantic doses of. And
Yeah, I
Clozaril
never
is
heard of that
like,
one.
it's like the nicer version of Thorazine.
Mm.
I don't know if you've ever heard of like the Thorazine shuffle.
I've yeah, I've heard Thorazine. I don't know much about it. I assume it's
So
also an
Thorazine was like,
antipsychotic,
if you
right?
see like old footage of like 70s or 60s people in like asylums,
Like the
and they're
catatonic,
just
catatonic
they're
shit.
just barely stumbling around and kind of drooling on themselves and shit. That's the Thorazine shuffle.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And so this is like a slightly nicer version of Thorazine. Clozaril. And
But
there's
still
people
kicking
on
his
that, like,
ass.
and I've seen people on massive doses of
Zombies.
that, man, where they're taking like 600 mils a day, and you're like, fuck.
You're effectively a zombie, basically, huh? They're basically zombies.
If, in rare occasions, believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
truly psychotic patients that genuinely need those meds, you give it to them and they're functional. They're perfectly functional. And generally, the only people that get zombied out are people that probably shouldn't be on those meds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Like
it's
they
obviously not
probably should
working.
be getting something else. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of crazy, man. It was very strange to see like how well people could function on some of those things, because it's like if you give them to a normal person, that person would just sit there in the corner and drool for the whole day and do nothing else. Or like my sister, when they gave my sister a bunch of fucking meds when she was like in high school that they did not need to give her. Where she spent
so
almost
fucking,
her whole day asleep.
yeah, they're so fucking ready. There's like seem like almost yeah, they're so willing to give it. Like that seems to be the
Did I ever
go-to
tell
answer
you
is
why
just
they gave my
medicate.
sister the meds they gave her?
No, no.
Okay. So my sister's friend was in an abusive household and had come up with this sort of like fantasy world she kind of lived in, where she was friends with these K-pop stars or J-pop stars or some shit, and they would like pretend that they would talk to them on the phone and shit.
Oh wow.
And so that was the reason that they were like, oh, we better give them some psych meds because they're delusional.
All right, interesting.
So you can understand why I was like, this is ridiculous. Number
Yeah,
one, my sister
yeah.
knows that those are not real. Which
Yeah,
she did. She
yeah,
knew they weren't real. Like, she didn't think that they were actually talking
yeah.
to the people. And
Okay, but her friend actually did.
no,
Then
no, her friend didn't either.
her friend didn't either.
Her
Oh,
friend
wow.
just, like,
Okay.
fucking played it up like
Yeah, they're
she did
fucking
because
around.
she felt embarrassed when they was confronted about it. But, like,
Yeah.
she knew it wasn't real. Either it
Okay.
was a fantasy. It was, like, a way of getting away from her mom being, like, psychotic and abusive, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's playing make believe, but like with a really solid reason for it behind it.
Yeah, yeah, like, knives stuck in the
Than just
wall,
being
psychotic mom. Yeah, of course you're gonna fucking
yeah, you're gonna
pretend.
want to live in any reality but that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Convince yourself, make it convincing enough that you're not living in. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's
And
nuts that they just like didn't investigate that at all and like ask them like, wait, do you really think you're talking to us? Like,
oh
no,
no,
it's
I think
fucking
they
around.
knew. I think they knew. I think they actually talked to her and
Oh
knew.
my
That was
gosh,
the
yeah,
really
that's
fucked
even
up part.
fucking worse. Okay, that's even worse than I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Well,
Okay,
the only
yeah,
reason
that's
she got
fucking
away from taking those meds is literally just because I was my parents were willing to listen to me because I worked in mental health, and I was like, that's not normal, and
yeah,
that's
that's
not
ridiculous.
a way to that's not going to benefit her in any way. You're not helping her. You're not helping her. You're making it worse.
Yeah, Jesus, dude. Yeah, I guess that's the other thing is being too trusting of authority
Well,
in
it
a
was
lot of
like the
situations.
psycho that worked at my brother's school. That one was fucking crazy. Um,
Mhm.
there's one of the ladies decided to tell my parents. My parents did it, which is even nuttier. That in order to work on controlling my brother's behavior, because he was so like fucking out of control when he was younger, um,
Right, right.
they should take away. They should buy him a certain number of gifts for Christmas, and then take one away every time he misbehaves.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, yeah, that didn't leave any fucking like lasting resentment.
Yeah, that's a what the
That
fuck,
was the
dude.
Christmas my brother got like no gifts. It was fucking insane. Even me as like a kid was like, this is fucking wrong, dude. What is wrong with you people? Like, how can
Yeah,
you
that's
think this is okay? Like, what in the hell?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we all have moments like that where we're just too trusting of
Uh,
some authority figure,
and it
whether
was
it be
because the
some
lady who was
kid
running the
or
school for behaviorally challenged kids was a psychiatrist, so they thought they were getting good advice. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. That makes sense, dude. You're like, I don't know about this shit. Although,
Yeah.
yeah, back then it was probably much harder. Shit. Oh no, no. Actually, for your sister. Oh no, for your brother, you said. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I'm
wasn't
thinking of
old
it
enough to
closer.
know what was going on for my brother as much as to be like, as a kid, I wasn't even an adult at the time, so that like even if I'd said like that's not right, it would not have been like listened
Right.
to. I
Yeah.
was
Like,
very
no,
lucky
this
that I
crazy.
think I was like 24 or something, and my
Yeah.
sister or like 22 or 23,
Yeah.
and my parents were like, "You've been working at that house, that company for a while now. What do you think?" And I'm like, "This is insane. Like that's
Yeah.
not
This should not be happening. Yeah.
this is not the way you treat any sort of mental health issue." Because effectively, like one of the worst things people can do when they have like mental health problems, especially if they're um, like psychotic, is to isolate. The last
Right.
thing you
Right.
want somebody who's either psychotic or depressed, either psychotic or depressed. You don't want that person to isolate. You want them to be interacting with people for the majority of the day, going out and doing stuff, even if it's just wandering around the fucking neighborhood, like, looking at birds or some shit. They need to be out doing something that's like not sitting in a bedroom alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Just sitting and staring at the fucking walls or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do not want that. They need to be occupied with something. But that was a funky one.
Yeah. That is pretty fucking crazy.
I'm gonna see what else we got here on the Discord. Let's see. Oh, did you see the one where the guy was in a fucking wheelchair and his like ex-girlfriend was like, he kicked the door down and fucking ran off, and they went to arrest him and shit?
Was she even the ex-girlfriend? Because it seemed like they didn't actually have anything to do with each other, right? I
Oh,
thought.
maybe she wasn't even an ex-girlfriend. I might have missed that. That's possible.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because what the guy was saying is he'd been in a wheelchair for 25 fucking years.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I think she just found a name at random and made some shit up and didn't know the guy at all.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed that,
I
but I
might have
thought,
missed that. Either way, though, it was ridiculous. I was
yeah,
like you were wondering why she wasn't facing charges. I'm wondering why the cop that dumped him on the floor wasn't facing charges.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Why he
Like, you
still has a
can't
fucking
just
job
pull
at the
somebody
very
out of a
least.
wheelchair and throw them on the ground because you're mad. Like, that's
Yeah,
insane,
yeah.
dude.
No
Like,
matter
that's
how certain you are, you know what I
well, and
mean.
it's not your
No matter
fucking
how
job
certain.
if you're a cop. If
Yeah,
they're in a wheelchair and you genuinely think that might not be true, cuff them to the wheelchair, take them to the fucking hospital, and find out.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
Do
mean?
something to
Take them
back
in
it up.
and confirm or
Yeah,
deny it, but you don't get to just throw them on the ground. Like, oh, I don't believe you.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
beat you up now. Fucking what?
Yeah, and
Like, that's
although,
insane.
yeah, the one part, what do you call it? The one part I was because he brought up like the DMV and like, yeah, you got DMV records. I'm like, yeah, it should the DMV should have some record of him being disabled. And I'm
Well,
like,
what
they
about that
should,
other
sure,
fucking
the
cop,
fucking
the one
cops
that
have
the
access
Captain
to that.
Retard cop, the Captain Retard
Oh,
guy,
dude,
where the guy was like, "Well, that
yeah,
doesn't mean he didn't do it.
yeah, he could have done it.
He could have done it."
Yeah,
It's like, oh my god, dude, are
yeah,
you out of your
yeah,
fucking mind? How? Like, Jesus
yeah,
Christ, like,
yeah. It
you
was,
already know this story is horse shit, and this guy's still trying to fucking
yeah.
get him
Yeah, it seems
anyway.
like
It's like,
that whole department needs a fucking house cleaning. It sounds like if
oh
that's the guy
yeah,
that's in charge.
yeah, that's not an investigation. That's a fucking witch hunt, dude.
Mm,
At that point,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I
Like,
found
how do you
another
not?
one. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just the fact that yeah, he had to like prove on the spot that he was actually disabled, and yeah, he's like, I can do it in like fucking 10 minutes or whatever. And yeah, like I said, there's no way any kind of fucking police, sheriff, whatever, doesn't have access to the DMV records. And again, from what he's describing, it sounded like that would be on your license that you're disabled in that
Well,
way.
and if
Like,
somebody's
how do you not
literally
even
sitting
check
in a
that?
wheelchair in front of you, there's no
Mm,
excuse for not figuring, taking that into account while arresting them.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there needs to be a
yeah. The whole
method of arresting somebody who's in a wheelchair and can't walk that doesn't involve
yeah,
throwing them on the fucking floor.
yeah, yeah. That was pretty fucking disgusting, dude. But yeah, hopefully he becomes a multimillionaire. You know,
Yeah, I hope they take
for
enough
having to
money that
fucking
they
deal with
feel
that.
that it becomes necessary to fire people in order to maintain their
Mm,
political positions, like the people who are in charge.
yeah, yeah. That was pretty goddamn disgusting.
I saw
Yeah, and the
another
fact
one.
that they didn't bother checking the bitch. Like again, when he said he was disabled, like how long did it take them to like, oh, maybe we should check her record and see if there's any record of her doing this as bullshit. And oh wow, there is. She's got a
Yeah.
record. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
not
that
only
seems
that,
like
she's
that
got
would
a
have been
record of
enough.
doing it, but apparently not a record of being punished for it, which is why she's still doing it.
Yeah,
Put her in
yeah, yeah.
prison
There's
where
gonna be
she
no
fucking
consequences.
belongs, dude. Like, that bitch needs
Yeah,
like 10 years bare minimum. She's been doing this on a regular basis for a long time. 10 years in
yeah.
prison bare minimum. Like, she's
Yeah.
ruined how many other people's like lives?
Yeah, I wouldn't have blamed them. You know, I don't like situation. I'll be like, you should be suspect of anything a bitch that looks like that is telling you anyway. Like she
Oh yeah,
looks
like
like
a
the
fucking
fucking
coked out
potential
meth head
casting
looking
metaphor.
bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
So I saw another one that was crazy with the cops where they pulled him over because he spent too long at the gas station.
Mm. Oh, I didn't get around to watching that. I
It
saw it,
was
but I never
that's
got
why
to
they
watch it.
called her Officer Karen, because it was like, what do you mean he's spending an inordinate amount of time at the gas station? That's not reasonable suspicion or
Yeah, what
probable
the hell?
cause. That's insane.
Mm.
Like, I
Yeah,
would have just said, you know you're retarded, right? Like, that's not going to hold up in court. I'm going to sue the fuck out of you and I'm going to win. Like, you can't
Yeah.
pull somebody over for fucking spending too long at the gas station
Yeah,
and
it
then
would be
search
different if
their
there was
car
some
with
obviously
canine.
suspicious
They,
behavior.
they called the fucking canine in.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
that's not how that works. That's insane. Like,
Mm.
what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, Jesus Christ. And then the other guy is just standing there like backing her up, and I'd be like, "You guys are fucking idiots. You know that, right?" Like, like
Mm.
I don't
Yeah.
understand why
Yeah.
these people are so civil with the cops.
Mm.
Like, I would be the most obnoxious piece of shit on the planet because I know you can swear at them and they can't do shit about it. Like, yeah, they might kick my ass
Yeah.
there, but that's just gonna add money onto the paycheck. So, like,
Mm.
I'll take a couple punches
Yeah.
to the face. You're gonna end up going to fucking, you end up losing your job, and I'll have a lot of money. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna curse you out, but be relatively calm. Go ahead and do your crazy shit.
Oh,
I'm gonna get
I'm
fucking
not even
paid.
gonna. I'm just gonna be like constantly insulting in a stream of profanity.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're also better off doing it semi-calmly.
Oh yeah,
You know
no,
what I
no, and
mean?
totally rational. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like raising my voice or yelling. It's like I'll just be like, yeah, what's up, man? So what was it like waking up the other day and finding out you lost your balls? Like, just kind of shit, just fuck with them the whole time.
So do you actually watch from the closet when your wife gets fucked by a real man, or
Yeah.
do you have to leave the room?
It would just be never ending.
Yeah, just fucking with him. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, so Rekieta got his sentence. I saw that. I don't
Yeah.
remember
What was it, like a
exactly
lot of
what he was
probation?
done, but he's got 30 days in jail and
Yeah, and
like
then years of
5 years
probation.
of probation, which is like a lot of probation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Did they
I don't
ever
know how
find
long
out
that's
why the
gonna
kid
last
tested
him.
positive? Did the kid actually test positive for cocaine, or was that bullshit?
I don't
I never really
remember
found
the
out.
whole thing, honestly.
But yeah, one of his kids allegedly tested positive for cocaine. I was like, yeah, even if you're fucking crazy coked out, I don't see you letting your young child do coke. And no matter
That
how bad they're
is,
fucking.
yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
I was like,
pretty
that seems
fucked up. If the
suspicious.
kid, that should have
Yeah.
been,
Yeah, as
if
fucked up
that's
as Ricardo
true,
was.
if that's true,
Yeah. Yeah.
that should have
That seemed
definitely
like
gotten
some
more than
planted
30
shit.
days in jail.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I want to know what happened there, because it didn't seem like I said, Ricardo turned out to be a degenerate scumbag and all that. But I can't not imagine him doing something that fucked up, giving her, because the kid was like what, 12, 13, somewhere in there, if that. I may even be wrong on the age.
You
Might
never
have been
know with
younger.
these fucking lunatics, man. It's so weird,
It is true. That is true. But yeah, Ricardo again, he wasn't like. I don't. He didn't seem like he was always a degenerate. It seemed like it kind of happened due to the drug use in his situation.
Yeah, fentanyl will fuck you up, man.
Yeah. Oh, was it fentanyl? I thought it was coke. I thought
It
it was
was
mostly coke.
both. It was fentanyl and meth and
Oh
coke and
Jesus.
lots of different
Oh
drugs.
fuck. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fucking.
He was getting
Okay.
involved with a bunch of shit.
Okay. I never even heard about the fentanyl shit. I checked out of that.
I
Because I
only know
checked in
because
for
the
a while.
video that I watched, the most recent one where they were talking about his sentence, mentioned it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I checked out because I followed Ricada for a while there. Like, I think it was partly the Depp case and the Rittenhouse case. But I
Yeah.
checked
That's
out
when
well
he got
before.
like famous, was for those. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was well before he. I noticed like this guy's just getting fucking wasted and being like, you know what I mean. I noticed what the issues were. I didn't realize it was anywhere near what it turned out to be. But I'm like,
Yeah. Turned
this
out to
is
be way
weird. This
worse than you
sucks.
thought.
Yeah, because people were essentially paying him to take shots and shit. You know what I mean? He was into that kind of
Oh
shit. So
yeah. That's always a wacky one.
yeah, so I checked out before he had any kind of those issues. The shit with him and the Aaron from Steel Toe, because they're swapping wives or whatever.
Oh, that was a crazy set of it. Yeah, that was wacky.
Yeah,
Finding out they were doing that.
yeah, Dude, that Aaron guy is quite the fucking psychopath himself, man. Jesus Christ. I didn't know much about him early on. Still really don't. But yeah, he's he's fucking nuts, dude. Like he's really convinced. Like he's definitely got that main character syndrome kind of shit. Yeah, because he
Oh
got
man.
busted for because he spent because he had pics of because they swapped wives, which I'm sure was great for Ricada because Imholt's wife is actually pretty fucking hot. Not so much for Ricado's wife having to fuck the Aaron guy, but anyways, um, he had pictures of
I
Ricado's wife,
imagine in
and
those cases that what they're getting off on isn't how hot the person is. It's
yeah,
more
it's like
of
the
just like
naughtiness.
the fact that it's wrong, in general. Like it's
Yeah,
not
that they're
good.
doing something, anything kind of taboo or whatever.
Exactly. They're being naughty.
Yeah, but he had pics of Ricado's wife naked or whatever, and like during a show or something, he sent it to one of the guys that he was on the show with, unprompted. So he was definitely the insecure type that's like, hey, look what I
That's
got.
a
I'm a real
fucking
man.
weird
See,
choice.
dude, it is, man. And he got busted for doing that. I guess, however, that people found out, like he actually got in trouble with the law for doing that, for
Wow.
sending that. Yeah, so like, but and when he was talking about going in for the court case, like the way he describes it is like, oh yeah, I know it was great, everybody loved it, a good time. Dude, there's no fucking way that's how it went down. Like, why are you fucking acting like getting arrested and getting what do you call it, arraigned or whatever the fuck you call that shit? Um, was a great time. Like, what is wrong with you? Why are you making that claim? But that's
Yeah.
exactly what he does. Is he spins everything, no matter how fucked up it is, as him being the superhero, the badass superhero. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen much of his show, but it seems like literally 90% of it is him begging for money. So he's one of those types that's just
Oh,
trying to,
fucking nice.
dude. Yeah, and again, he doesn't seem to be particularly interesting. I guess he did like previously he had done like radio there in Minnesota, like on a, one of those people. So I
Yeah.
think he had this outsized perception of his ability to be entertaining. Um, but again, the delusion seems to be working because he doesn't seem like all that interesting, and he's somehow making a living off of goading people into donating money to him. But yeah, he's just like, again, one of those people that's just so like not particularly interesting, but in their head, they're the fucking greatest ever,
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn shame.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, yeah. Mm. But yeah, the shit he talks about is odd too. Like he's one of the that obviously has boundary issues that
Oh,
doesn't seem to
yeah.
understand. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, he thought it was appropriate to unsolicitedly send, again, unsolicited, send nudes of fucking Ricada's wife to this guy without him showing any interest or any, certainly no positive, like, assent of, yeah, send those to me. Like, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'd be pretty unhappy if somebody literally just sent me naked
Mm.
pictures of somebody else's wife
Yeah, I'd be like,
without me
what the fuck
asking.
is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and without
yeah,
knowing that they were consented by the wife. You know what I mean?
right,
Like, I
right.
also want to know that the wife is aware
Yeah.
you're handing out her fucking naked pictures and
Yeah,
that
and
it's
again,
okay
just to
that
make
you're giving them
sure,
to me because it's like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right,
I
quick
don't want them
reminder in case
unasked
you
for,
missed
number
it.
one, but I also don't want it if like she doesn't know you're doing it. That's
Okay.
even
All
creepier.
right. All right, real quick, in case you may have missed what I said, it was Ricada's wife's nudes, not his wife's nudes.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Okay.
crazy.
All right,
Because,
the way you
like,
said it, the way you were saying it, I thought you were saying it was Aaron's wife's nudes.
no, no, no. I
So
mean,
I
I'm
just
just
wanted
saying, like, I don't know that, like, I would want
yeah,
to know
yeah,
that Ricada's wife knew that he was giving those out.
for sure.
And
Yeah,
why
even if
was
it was
getting
his
them.
wife,
Like,
really.
that's fucking weird.
Even if it was his actual wife, it would be like, yeah, she should definitely be aware of that. And I can't imagine. It seems very unlikely, even for swinger types. to be okay with you sending nudes to whoever without her knowing,
Yeah, that's the thing that
whether
gets
it's your
me
wife
with
or
that
someone
is it's like,
else's.
yeah, what if the wife didn't know? And like, there's a lot of things where it'd be like, I'd be
Yeah,
uncomfortable with
it's
that.
an
I
odd thing.
remember the one time I followed up with like filing a complaint through Discord was one guy apparently decided that I wanted supposed nude pictures of somebody that was like, it looked like they were taken from a really long distance away through a window.
Oh wow, what
Like,
the
so the
fuck?
person was clearly not aware of it. Like, it made me sick to my stomach when I saw it. I was very fucking pissed. But like,
Yeah,
I got that guy
yeah.
kicked out of that Discord, and I reported everything, and so it was just like, but it was just like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, why would I want that? Like, there's so many pictures of naked women that are totally fine with you having them, and they're all
Yeah,
over the internet. There's all this porn and everything that you can get where the person's totally aware of it and it's not creepy and weird and disgusting. Why would I
right.
want this
Yeah,
fucking
that is
felony on my computer? Like,
yeah, that's dude. Why would you? That's a hard mindset. Yeah, there's some, you know what I mean? I can majority of people, I think. I don't understand that mindset at all. Like you not asking for it and him just being like, "Oh yeah, no, he's gonna want it. He's gonna want to see this,"
yeah,
without
oh, that's
bothering to
real
ask at
weird.
all. Yeah, that's a very odd mindset, man. What the fuck, man?
Well, what was it? I had that friend of mine, the guy that married the under the girl that was so young. Obviously not
Right,
before she was an adult, but
right.
and now they're married and have a kid. So like, obviously everything worked out for the best, you know. So I don't think there was any sort of abuse or anything that went on, and like the mom knew, but she was like, this wasn't the other way around. It wasn't like he tricked an underage girl into dating him. It's not. It was exactly the opposite. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's like whatever. But one of the times before he was with that girl, he worked at this one company, and this lady that he worked with was like, "Hey, come on over and hang out for lunch. We'll stop by my place and go get some lunch or whatever because I have to pick something up." And he was young enough that he didn't realize she was kind of coming on to him right there. Uh,
Mm,
but she whipped out and showed him a video of her blowing her husband, and
wow.
and him like ejaculating into his own mouth by accident.
What the fuck, dude? All
And
right.
he's like, it was the most uncomfortable fucking like
Mhm.
moment of my life, but also the weirdest
Yeah,
because he's like watching this lady's blowing her husband on a video. He was like, it was fucking weird and uncomfortable, and I was not. Like,
yeah, yeah. Not
oh
turned on at
man,
all. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, that's bizarre.
I have
Mm.
to wonder if
Mhm.
that was one of those weird like cuckold things.
Right.
Like she humiliates him, and then they talk to somebody and get that guy to fuck her while he watches or something. And that was
Yeah,
like, I have
yeah,
a feeling it was one of those things, or she's just cheating on her husband. Also possible.
yeah,
But the weird
yeah, yeah.
aspect of
It's
like
all
he
crazy.
accidentally ejaculated so hard that it went into his mouth by accident, like that was just too fucking weird for me to call like coincidence.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely seems like a humiliation fetish.
Uh, let's see. I saw a really good video about preps to buy before the fucking tariffs make it hard to get them, and it was
Mm.
all
Oh
electronics and gear. It was so fucking dumb.
yeah.
The guy
I
was
didn't watch it,
like,
but I heard drones mentioned. I'm like,
yeah,
what the
number
fuck,
one was
drone?
drones. Number two was like, those solar batteries, like Jackery and stuff. Like, buy
Yeah, oh
those. And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, that's awesome. You could just cook yourself up a drone with a Slice off a piece of that jackery on the side, a little salt and pepper.
Yeah,
You'd
it's
be
all
just
very
fine.
practical things.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was all fucking gear. All of it gear that you could buy on Amazon with an affiliate link so that he could make money off of it.
Yeah, no coincidence there, huh?
I'm like, who the fuck is
Jesus. Yeah.
watching this asshole and thinking that he's giving them any sort of real advice? Like, what a fucking prick.
Yeah. I hope Honey jacked all your fucking commission.
I exactly. I hope he makes no money because the stuff he was telling people was so bad. But I
No
don't know.
fuck.
I've
Did we
seen a
ever
lot of
talk
terrible
about that?
peppers.
I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about with the Honey thing, right?
Yeah.
I
Where
just want to
like
make
they
sure.
were like
Okay. All
supposed
right.
to be paying like the creators a certain amount of money for like giving them the sending them to the whatever
Yeah, the
like
best
shopping
deal.
place, and then they were just taking all the money and lying.
Yeah, they were taking the commissions from the affiliate links of the people that were advertising Honey,
Yeah.
and
They
it was
weren't
also
paying
not only
anybody.
that's not
They
only
weren't paying anybody for what they were doing. They were just lying and stealing their
yeah.
money. Yeah, I
Yeah. When
remember
Honey
that.
would
Yeah.
check for a discount, yeah, when Honey would allegedly the main reason that Honey's getting involved, at least from their point of view, is yeah, we're going to check for a discount, and while we do, we're going to remove the affiliate link for the commission and put ours in to jack it from the creator that was advertising Honey originally. And also, it turned out that they were they were in a deal with the actual retailers where they would put like a lesser discount even if there was a bigger discount available.
Mm-hmm.
So the retailers were paying them to do that. So literally everyone except Honey and some of the retailers, everyone else was getting fucked. The consumer, the people, the affiliate ads, like everyone else.
I wonder what happened to them. I don't remember hearing like what eventually occurred. Like, did the company go out of business, or did anybody go to jail?
Yeah,
Did any
actually, I
of the
haven't
people
either.
who
Now,
were
yeah,
getting their money stolen, like through the affiliate links, get their money or anything? I'm assuming
mm,
nothing
yeah,
happened and they're
yeah,
still operating. Is essentially what's going on. But
yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard any kind of follow up since then, which is surprising because it seems like there were that were getting fucked over by that.
oh,
Um,
what was it? Do you see they're remaking Oblivion?
oh yeah, my son's very excited. Yeah, he was loving that,
I don't
dude.
understand why everybody's excited and why everybody isn't going like, no, fuck you, make a new game.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh well,
where's
I guess
fucking
it's
Elder
because they
Scrolls
did
6,
a.
assholes? Skyrim's been out for like 10 fucking years. Let's get the next
Yeah,
Elder
I
Scrolls
think it was
game
just.
going here. Come on. Like, I don't give a fuck
Yeah,
about
if you loved
Oblivion.
Oblivion, you're gonna love it. If you didn't love Oblivion, then you're probably not gonna give a shit and are
Well,
gonna
but
be like you,
I don't fucking
thinking like, "Hey,
care.
work on the
Like, I
actual
loved
game."
Oblivion. I remake it all you want, but why are you remaking these games and selling them instead of making new games? Like,
Yeah,
why have
yeah.
we waited for 10 years and there's still not a fucking Elder Scrolls 6? Like, come on. This
Yeah,
is
that game is
ridiculous.
long overdue. When is it? Do they have actually any kind of release date for six? Even
Not
now?
that none that I've heard of. None that I've heard of. I don't think they have
Yeah,
any intention of putting out Elder Scrolls 6.
dude. Uh, yeah, in fact, I think there was a recently somebody came. I don't think it was the actual developers. Somebody came out with a pretty large expansion for Skyrim too. Like
2026
within the
or
last
later
couple
is what they're expecting.
weeks. Damn. So nothing. Okay, very good. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 doesn't have a release date, but the timeline isn't totally nebulous. But
Right.
yeah, so in other words, there's no release date and it's totally nebulous.
Yeah. Yeah, next year maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing definitive. Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking gross. Yeah, we're almost fucking 2026 only like what 6 months away, 6.5 months away.
Yeah,
Oh wait, what are we in
exactly.
April? What are we in? Are we May now?
April, we're
What fucking
almost
month
in
are we?
May. We're like the
Oh yeah,
April
almost May.
24th,
Well, a
so like
quarter of May.
another
Yeah,
6 days of
we're a third of the way
April.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it's a little late to be saying like 2026 or later. If it's in 2026, you're going to at least have what quarter in 2026 it's going to be. So there's no fucking way it's 2026.
So,
You know what I mean? It would say like third
oh yeah,
quarter
yeah, yeah.
2026 or second quarter 2026.
No,
Yeah,
it's
if it's
it's
not
gonna
even
be
having
like
any more
2030 or
specificity.
something like that. They're just making shit up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
2028 at the absolute earliest, it would be my guess.
let's see.
And you'll be
The
lucky if
Eric
that's true.
Payton incest song, was that
Yeah, I don't know if
legit?
I'd shared that before.
Was that like a
Yeah,
legit
yeah.
thing? He really made that song like he meant it? Or was that a
Yeah,
joke that
yeah.
he was making at somebody
No, no,
else's
no.
expense?
No, well, it was kind of a joke, but it was because he was into the incest thing.
Oh
Dude,
shit.
it's one of the oddest. It's one of the oddest communities out there. Is basically the VHS people that were into collecting VHS, like physical copies of VHS movies and shit.
Yeah.
And they're all fucking autistic. Like almost not, but a vast majority of them are just crazy autistic. And that particular guy seems to be in that category and has some hot cousins, from what I understand,
I'm
or for
sure his
what he considers
cousins
hot
saw
cousins.
that and never ever were willing to hang out with him again.
Yeah, I doubt his cousins saw it, but if they did, yes, I'm sure
That's like my
they
fucking.
avoided
That's
that
like my
kind
dad
of
trying
place.
me to get me to go to Vegas because he was telling me how hot one of my fucking cousins was. I mean, granted, it
Dude,
was like
that
a
is
distant cousin, so
wild.
it's not like real relative. But like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah. And
care. It's
if the word
close
cousin
enough,
applies at
dude.
all, I don't. Yeah, I don't care if it's second, third. If the word cousin applies, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. Exactly. It's like I get
Mm-hmm.
it. We're not like cousin
Mm-hmm.
cousins, but they're
Mm-hmm.
still related
Having
to me. And there's a whole
yeah,
city full of other people that are not related to me. If I'm trying to get laid,
dude,
it's not
just
going to be with my cousin. It's going to be with one of the other ladies I'm not
yeah,
related to. You fucking whack job.
yeah, yeah. My taboo over that is the same last name. I'm not sleep. I would never sleep with a bitch, and I have a very common last name. I would not
I
sleep with someone that has the same last
when
name
I
as me.
went
That is no shit, dude. No bullshit.
when I
That was
went
my mo.
to a strip club, one of the strippers had the same name as my little sister, and I was like, "No, I can't do it. No dance."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's probably
Yeah.
not even
That's
her real name. I was just like, "Nah, we're gonna pass.
right.
That's too weird for me, man." Like, it's
Mm.
just some random stripper
Yeah.
with the same first name, and I was just like, "Nah, no, thank you."
Nope.
It's like, no, it's gonna
I'm out.
be a no from me.
Yeah. That's enough for me to say I am out.
Let's
Yeah, no shit.
see.
There's yeah, like I said, a girl with the same last name was enough for me to
No,
be
that's
like,
that's
no.
fair enough. I
Yeah.
totally am
Well, no,
on
I mean,
board. If the word
actually, yeah, it
cousin
would
is
be cap.
involved or they have the same last name, yeah, definitely no. Like the answer is just
Yeah,
no. Don't do it.
yeah.
That's not cool.
Any kind of familial, no matter how many degrees removed. Yeah, any kind of familial link. Nope. Oh, second cousins is fine. You know, no, nope. Third, fourth, fifth, don't care. If it says cousins, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. What was it? The dude, I don't know if you checked out the link for interdimensional cable that I posted there.
No, I didn't. I missed that one.
It's a website. It just has like a TV, and then it's got like the back of Rick and Morty's heads, one on either side of it, and it just
Well,
plays the most bizarre random shit. And it genuinely it feels like you're watching interdimensional cable with fucking Rick and Morty. Like it's so weird. Like obviously not. You know,
oh,
like,
so it's not even. It's not actually from the show, but it's just weird shit. They're from the
yeah,
from
it's
the
just
internet,
weird shit
basically.
from the internet. Like one of them was like, I guess Drake from fucking one of the kids shows on Nickelodeon like messed around with a kid at one point, like a
Oh
teenager or
wow.
something. And so he's in court like
Yeah.
giving his confession, like pleading guilty to get like a lower case or whatever. And
Goddamn. Dude.
somebody thought it'd be great to throw like an 80s sitcom laugh track on it.
Oh,
Like that was
Jesus,
one of the
dude.
videos. Then there was like this other video where it was a bunch of pickles and like some video game characters saying stuff in Russian, and then like you'll mix it over. It's like every time you click on it, it's something weird. I'm gonna re-drop the thing, and it's like it's got like a little remote on the side that you like pop up after you click on it, and you turn the thing on and off, and you can like skip a video every with like the what do you call it?
Skip to the next channel or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a channel plus button, and every time you click it, it'll just skip to another video.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I have to check that out then.
I highly recommend checking it out just once. I don't think it's something you'll watch every day forever, or even really want to watch all that much after like the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you know. But it's kind of a cool little thing to just check out and see like a couple wacky videos on.
Yeah. I think I avoided it because I honestly I can't. Royland getting kicked off for the accusations, you know, the ones that ended up getting dropped. Him getting fired before that, I cannot watch anything of Rick and Morty.
Oh, this has nothing to do with the Rick and Morty show. Yeah, this has nothing to do with any of those people. There's a completely independent, like, creator did this, so...
Yeah, I definitely should have at least checked it out. My apologies.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally understand. That's why I was like, I better explain it. Because I had a feeling like you wouldn't check it out because of the Royland thing. And I respect that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still watch the Rick and Morty, but I totally respect it. Like, you know, fuck these guys. I don't want to give them my fucking viewership and, like, you know, watch ads or something and contribute to their fucking income. Like, these people are
I'm also much, you know, I've watched a lot of Royland shit. Like, I'm a big fan of the guy. You know, the Mr. Sprinkles, the Unmarketables.
Oh, it's definitely not as good as it was. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's weird because Royland seemed to be a bit of a fucking, you know, I don't know how unfounded the accusation. Just know sport because he does seem to be like a weird dude. I know my son and I have actually had a conversation about it. Like, yeah, he might be into some weird shit like that. But it's still fucked up that he got fired off of just an accusation that got dropped. And then, like, and also had the discussion about why does anybody that's a great creator like that have to be so fucked up in the head?
You know, and then the odds are he didn't do anything at all. Like, it's most likely she just
it was nothing illegal
in his fucking life because he was happy and not dating her anymore. You know?
Yeah, something similar to the, you know, accusing YouTubers after the fact because they fucked around with them or messed around with them and didn't get the fame they thought they deserved, and they accused them of bullshit.
Like that one thing that happened recently. Yeah. That one thing where everybody was like mad at that guy, and it was like, you know, you didn't get the prize, and now you're mad. You put your fucking quarter in the fucking claw machine, and you tried to claw a dick with a big paycheck attached to the back of it, and you got no dick. Yeah. So now you're mad.
Somehow mad that you got something you didn't really deserve, thought you did.
Yeah.
Entitled fucking cunts. Yeah, so that, again, there's, unfortunately a lot of examples of kind of shit nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty fucking... But
like, there's probably a bunch of chicks that would be hitting on Somali just to fucking get a little piece of that fame if they could, you know?
Yeah, and he's not even really... Yeah. It's not like he has a huge audience. He's infamous much more than he is like actually popular as a creator. But there'd still be bitches lining up to blow the guy.
To be fair to that Taylor the Fiend guy, I think those stories are bullshit, but the premises are probably somewhat based on like real stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure some dude's like wife got pissed off that he was dating like a hot Filipino woman or something. You know, like I'm sure that's happened at some point.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it played out like the perfect way that the story played it out, because like that's where I think it all turns into bullshit. Is the conclusions to all the stories are just too perfect.
Yeah, with some what do you call it? Editorial flourishes added.
Well, like the guy always wins in this big fantastic way in every one of these stories, and it's like, all right, I don't buy it.
Almost absurd degree.
Life is messier than that. It's almost never that fucking clear cut and simple, especially when you're dealing with like divorce and divorce court. Don't fucking blow smoke.
Yeah, the stuff. The stuff he does on the other channel is right now exclusively crazy TikTok bitches, going off on their fucking man hating.
Oh
That
yeah,
shit's
and
obviously
I'm
real.
sure he
Yeah,
does well with it. He seems to have a very reasonable point of view on a lot of the like relationship stuff. So, you know,
yeah, for sure.
at least from what I heard. I don't know. Maybe he has that weird like you're not allowed to divorce thing or all that other kind of crap, or women should stay home and cook food
Yeah.
and never work thing. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
well, he definitely doesn't believe in second chances, which isn't the worst fucking,
I don't
like,
believe in
yeah. No,
second
if a woman
chances.
cheats on you, yeah,
Like I'm on
yeah,
that.
yeah. No,
Sign
it's
me
not
up.
an unacceptable position,
Yeah.
but yeah, some people think like, no, you got kids, you got to give them a second chance. I'm like, if they cheated,
Yeah, I think once
no,
somebody's opened that door is open forever, and you just have to walk away
yeah,
from that relationship and find another
yeah,
one. Once the trust is
yeah,
broken, it's broken, man. You can't get it back.
yeah, exactly.
Because, like, I know for me,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
always going to
got.
think, like, anytime she's gone, like, for too long, I'm going to be like, well, she's fucking somebody. If she already did it once, you know? It's like the
Yeah,
girl that was fucking around with my friend without while I was chasing after her. She's letting me take her out on essentially dates while she's fucking in a relationship with my best friend. You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
even if like they broke up and she eventually was like, "Oh, I was so wrong. We should get together." I'd be like, "No, you lied to me
yeah,
for this whole period of time. I don't trust that you won't lie to me now. Like, why would I? Why would I give you that
yeah,
opportunity to do it a second time? It'd be dumb on my part."
yeah. Yeah, it would be almost fucking guaranteed at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah,
Yeah, you
it
already
would be
thought it was
by far the
totally
most
fine
likely
and
outcome.
acceptable to lie for like months and months of time for, totally unnecessarily. Because if I'd found out they were dating, I would have been like, oh, that really sucks. And I would have been really hurt for a little while. But like, I wouldn't have like
Yeah,
attacked them
yeah,
or
yeah. I would have.
walked away and never talked to them again or anything ridiculous like that. Even in high school, I wasn't that
Yeah.
ridiculous. I mean, I would have
Yeah,
been
again, I
like,
would have given your friend like maybe a month or so like leeway because
yeah. Oh, I
getting
would
new
have been
pussy or
very
whatever.
upfront. I would have been
But
very
yeah,
upfront. I would have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna need a little time to get over this, and then I'll be cool. Like, just give me like a couple weeks,
yeah,
you know."
yeah. But the fact he allowed it to go on as long as it did, he's
Both of them
complicit
did,
too.
yeah.
Fuck that
Well, and then
guy.
that's what I found
Yeah.
out. So, like, shortly after we graduated, right, his mom and had because she worked at this hotel, like the DoubleTree Hotel or something, or like the Hyatt or the fucking Holiday Inn or something, whatever hotel they worked
Whatever.
at.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm,
her and him both worked there, and so they got like a really, really good deal to go to like this amusement park, right? Like this
mm,
really nice amusement park. So, and they got hotel rooms to stay in for free. So they invited me to
mm,
go and said, "Oh yeah, you just show up. We got everything. You just come with us and you go to this amusement park, and it'll be like an overnight thing, and then you'll be back the next day." And they did not have they did not like get me any food.
mm.
So like they told me they
Wow.
would take care of everything, but they didn't. There was no food for me. I did
Wow.
not know that they were not planning on giving me food, like because normally like if you're spending, because we were like in and out of each other's houses all the time. So like if I stayed the night at his house, their mom was gonna feed us, and if he stayed the night at
Yeah.
my place, my
Yeah.
mom was gonna feed them. And so and then my friend also treated me like shit. Didn't get me any food either.
Wow.
And was like they were like super rude about the whole thing to me like the whole time.
Like why
And
the fuck am I here?
I got into the park, but they wouldn't pay for anything in the park for me and anything. It was like and it's like you guys invited me as like a hey, just show up and come join and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And now I know why they
Yeah.
were all
You.
so shitty because he was dating her and they knew I was into her and I was trying to date her. And so it was like the
Wow.
animosity from not,
Fucked up.
keeping that a secret probably, but also the animosity from knowing that I was pursuing his girlfriend. It's like the only person who didn't know it was his girlfriend was me, or I wouldn't have been
Yeah.
pursuing
What
her
the
anymore.
fuck?
It was just like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Even.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm
Even
not
you
friends with
doesn't
either of them
explain that.
anymore. I was just like,
Yeah.
I dropped them
Yeah.
both
Even
after
youth
that
isn't gonna
because it
be.
was just like I don't need friends like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that is some evil shit, man. What the fuck,
But
man?
on the upside, it prepared me for that chick that tried to fucking talk me into cheating on her boyfriend for like a fucking an hour.
All right.
Because I
Yeah.
was already like, nah, this is a fucking terrible road. I know this shit. This
Yeah.
is a dumb idea. Hell no.
Mm. Yeah, it only takes one getting fucked over where you're like, all right, bitches are
Yeah.
evil. I got to be aware that bitches are going to be
She was
doing
trying to
some
convince me
self
that you could start a
shit.
normal, healthy relationship from an affair.
Yeah, I guess
She's
that
like,
does
oh,
happen on
yeah,
occasion,
yeah.
like 1 out of 1,000, maybe, if that.
Nah. I
But
don't
yeah, if
know,
someone's going to
dude. I
cheat
don't
in a
know. To me, that
relationship,
seems like something that just never works out.
yeah, yeah, no, I'm sure it has at one point, just by accident, for whatever reason.
Maybe. Yeah, I
Yeah, just
suppose.
sheer,
Just
sheer
the sheer
statistics.
volume of times that it's probably
Yeah,
occurred is,
yeah,
fair enough.
yeah. Yeah, but again, it's a horrible. Yeah, what the fuck? How do you? Yeah, the arrogance of that.
How
To
would you
think like,
ever
oh yeah, no,
trust that
she cheated
person?
on that guy, but no,
Yeah.
she's not going to do that to me. I'm fucking special.
Yeah, how would you
Yeah, no,
ever
I'm too
trust her, dude?
fucking.
Like, you'd every time she'd
Yeah,
go out with something or do something, it'd be like,
yeah.
is she fucking somebody
My
else? Is this her breaking up? Am I going to get broken up with in a couple of months with her and this new
yeah.
guy? What's going on? Like, you're always
My
going to
my
be
self
worried.
esteem. My
Yeah.
self esteem is way too low to think I'm that special. Like, oh yeah, no, she's clearly comfortable with cheating, but yeah, not me. I'm fucking awesome. I'm fucking special.
Yeah,
There's no
that was
way
a
she's
nutty
gonna do
one.
act fucking same thing to me. Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
odd mindset because I've seen it happen with my friends and it never worked out. And I'm like, dude, she's cheating on the guy. You really think she's not gonna cheat on you eventually? Like, I get, nah, probably not for a while. Probably the same thing that happened with her, her boyfriend before
Here's
you.
the thing. Knowing what I know now, if I could go back, I probably would have fucked her. I just would not have been invested in the relationship in any way.
Yeah,
I would have just been like,
yeah.
nah, I'm
Like,
just
no, no,
getting
no, don't
laid, and
break
then
up
I'm
with
gonna
him
fucking
yet.
move on. Like, I'm not even gonna worry about this bitch. I'm just gonna like fuck her for a little while and then like leave. Because she's
Right,
already doing it
right.
to her boyfriend. I would have felt no guilt. I know that's horrible sounding, but honestly, but like at that
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
I was so
yeah.
horny
Again, it
that
would
it
be
would have been
different if you
like,
were like
sure, why
friends with
not?
the guy.
Nah, I
But
wasn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Barely
It's
knew
it's
him.
kind
He
of
was a
shitty, but
really
yeah, I
nice
get
guy
you.
from what little I'd seen of him, but I didn't really know him, so yeah.
Yeah, any bitch is yeah. A lot of bitches are gonna yeah. Nice guy is not gonna work out well for you. They
No.
always get taken advantage of.
Oh yeah, for sure. And on
Well,
that note,
most
we should.
women. I'm sure there's some women that don't, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I was saying on that note, we should
Yeah,
probably
we're right
call it
back.
because I think we're over time and we're good.
Oh yeah,
And I gotta pee
yeah,
really
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, as do I. So yeah, for everybody not listening,